Welcome to the first episode of Close the Tab that we've done in a while, everybody. I'm
Yeah.
your host,
Yeah.
Alex the Critic, joined here by my co-host, Spaceman, you
Hello.
wanna, and Travis.
Yo, I just woke up from a nap. I'm very tired.
I guess we could jumpstart this episode by going over what's happened in the past month between the three of us. We can
Oh,
go
hold on.
with you,
Spa-
Travis, if you want to go
oh,
first.
wow. I put me on the spotlight like that. What an
Hey,
asshole.
you spoke up. You don't put the blame on me.
Yeah. Hey, we're in America. You speak up. It's your problem. Let's see. These past 3 weeks. Okay, so it's been pretty uneventful except for like last weekend. But let me just go over the uneventful weeks,
The slice
uneventful
of life
moments.
part.
Yes, the slice of life part, because we certainly don't want to we don't want to miss out on the part on the part where I go to the grocery store because it has like a deeper meaning to it.
That'll come back in the season finale.
Yeah, I'll come back to the season finale. There'll be like a little reference to it as well. Side thing. I never went to the grocery store, unfortunately. But I just been watching a bunch of anime. Well, I say a bunch, but I think I only watched like three, three in the past 3 weeks. Ironically,
So a bunch, as in relatively a bunch of anime.
because well, okay, well, here's the thing. I watched like three new ones, I think, and then I just kept rewatching some old ones that were like top tier, like masterpiece of arts and whatnot. Just because they're just that amazing.
You're gonna have
Like,
to narrow that down a lot.
okay, well, hold on, wait, because they're like masterpieces in my opinion. But I just kept rewatching Overlord a lot. I don't know why. It's just that good. And then I end up rewatching Monthly Girls, Nozaki-kun, or Nozaki-kun's Monthly Girls or something,
Hmm.
because it's hilarious. I don't know why. It's good. So I watched one that was like really like super serious and with a little bit of funny to it, and then one that's just kind of a comedy. But I watched, what's it called? I think it was called like Restaurant to Another World, and I it what's the word? It has no reason to be as good as it is because it's just really good. Because just to give it a quick summary, so the premise of the anime is on the title. It's a restaurant to another world, but they don't really delve into the fact of how like this normal restaurant in our reality is able to like be connected to like the other fantasy realities. They don't really delve into that, which I kind of appreciate because I mean, like it just leaves mystery to it, and I kind of like it. But like one thing I love about it is the world building because they have like all the fantasy patrons, there, but like they like basically each episode is like a story for like each of the patrons, and I'm like and then like it builds up to like the owner's like story at the end, and I'm like and I'm like I'm like, this is good.
Was that a Speed Racer reference you just snuck in there?
oh, ooh. I watched. It's a long title, but if it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a demon lord. It's a really good anime. No, it's really good. It's really great. It's really wholesome. There's like that one moment where it got really dark, and I was like, dude, this is nice. But it's
Uh,
a really wholesome anime. I say give it a watch.
so
Oh yeah.
Spaceman. No,
No,
never
wait,
mind.
no,
You
one
keep
more, one
going.
more. Yeah, nope. I'm still in the stop. I'm still in the spotlight. So until I say you can go, spaceman, you cannot go, spaceman. So you have to sit there, twiddle your thumbs, your space thumbs in space, playing your space card, your space Uno. Anyway, I gave that one anime in Slasher a shot. I was very, I was very disappointed.
Which
Like
one
I
again?
in slash Spectre.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's so basically it's like this one chick. She's like supposed to be like the Sherlock Holmes of like the spirits and everything, but it's just like the pacing is so slow. Like it's like Clannad slow. The only problem is like I couldn't vibe with it.
You weren't getting into it.
I wasn't really getting into it. It was just like I don't know how to explain it. I just didn't like the vibes. It was neat and all because it was like, ooh, Sherlock Holmes, but it's spirits, interesting. But I was like,
Oh, so it's basically like Constantine from DC Comics.
I guess because here's the thing. I expected it to be like she tackles on like different things because that was like because like in the first couple episodes she does, she tackles on this problem and our problem, but then like I think it started in episode 4 and pretty sure it just ends until the rest of the anime. I don't know. I only stopped at episode 8 because I was just that bored with it. But they just kept on this one like problem. I will say it is like a big problem, but it was like one of those things where it's just like I don't know. I just expected them to like be finished with it, and then tackle on a different one. It is one of those things.
So it just like dragged on.
Yeah, there we go. There you go. Just dragged on, just like my explanation. And that's how you beat Yamada. And then after I was done with the animes, last weekend I went to Dallas with my Asian squad. We went to a BMW event. There's a lot of BMWs in the world. Yeah, it was nice.
That was it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, let's see. We also went to because I really hate Dallas. I'm really
Yeah.
sorry to all my Dallas viewers. Don't understand
six
how
of
you
them.
can put up with the traffic. Also in Austin, also in Houston, and just
You
Texas
just
in
hate that
general.
Texas.
Well, except San Antonio. San Antonio doesn't have that bad of a traffic. If you just avoid I-35 and 1604 every now and then, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, look. I just don't get it. So we were stuck in traffic for like a good hour in Austin, and then when we finally reached the end, we noticed there's this one asshole of a pickup truck. I'm sorry. Look, if you're somehow listening to this and you have a pickup truck, please explain to me why pickup truck drivers are the way that they are. Because when we showed up at the end of the traffic, we saw the pickup truck, and like his entire rear was like on the barrier of the middle. Like how like the highway, it's like there's like the barrier in the middle that splits it. So like on the right,
That's
it's
a
everyone.
concrete barrier.
Yeah, the little concrete barrier. So explain to me how that pickup truck managed to get its entire like rear on top of the barrier, and so it's slanted in a sense. So it's almost like it's just laying on the barrier. So I was like, how? That was
Did
just
it like crash into it? What happened?
no, it's it's not like it's not scratched or anything. Like there's like no dents on it. It's just the fact that its ass is basically on top of the barrier, and the front is still on the road. So it's like slanted. And it's like
So
laying.
it's like riding up against it.
There he goes, riding up against it. So I'm like, how does that work? It's just
Spaceman, explain.
Explain, Spaceman, because that's basically like it. Because like I went to Dallas BMW event, went ice skating for the first time. It was not bad. Fell on my ass like 6 times, and that's about it.
Man, fuck ice skating. I don't like it.
Hey yo, what's the problem?
Just like out of nowhere, I take a really hard stance against
I
ice
know.
skating.
I was like, whoa.
Anyway, Spaceman.
Yeah, anyway, go
Why
Spaceman.
don't you go next?
And while you're at it, explain why pickup drivers are the way that they are.
We know you know a thing or two about reckless driving.
Yeah, Spaceman. Explain, Spaceman. Explain.
So, from like the past like few weeks,
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks.
Get it right.
Get it right, Spaceman.
We just keep interrupting him. So he's never able to answer us.
Oh my goodness. Not much really happened on my side. It's mostly just been like school and all that. But the one thing I would say is just the D&D sessions and how that been.
Oh yeah.
Like it was like the last time we had the D&D session. It was like also the last time we had. No, there was one D&D session before like we were on our hiatus for.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago, you ding dong.
But yeah, unfortunately, I don't have much interesting things on my side. It's just really just catching up with school and all.
Nothing
about
to report.
What about the time when you ate the space chili in Space Chili's?
Damn, I wanted to add on to that joke, but I couldn't think of anything else to say.
Things are getting spicy.
Not just spicy, but spacey. I want to kill myself.
Spacey?
I wish
There's too much space out here. I guess I'll tell people what I've been doing. I've basically been working on my Call Me Carson video, which I swear to God, I'm almost done with. I got like 2 or 3 more sections left to edit. I'm already like an hour and a half through it, and it should be out, if not by the end of March, then by early April at the latest. It's just
nice.
that, yeah, there's like a lot of footage to like sift through and edit, so And plus, like, I've also been also working on some other things, like editing other episodes of the podcast. So uh, that's kind of made it. That's kind of the reason why it's taken so long for me to finish the video. But rest
Okay.
assured, for those people watching who are my fans, that it will come out soon. I'm almost done with it, and hopefully, once I've uploaded it, I will get back to making way shorter videos about way less intense subjects, so that I can get back to that 2 week schedule that I told myself I wanted to get on for this year. I watched Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what I spent the whole afternoon on. And I gotta say, it's significantly better than Joss Whedon's cut, but I still don't like it very much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was dragging in a lot of parts for me. Like, I remember, especially during like the middle of the movie, I was checked out. Like, I was just searching stuff on my phone because I watched it with like the rest of my family,
Uh-huh.
and they were all like invested, like they all liked it, but I was just so fucking bored. And like midway through the movie, I was like either just searching stuff on my phone or just spacing out.
Space. Sorry.
Get it?
Whenever like I hear the word like space, it's just like now I
It's
just
that.
I'm just built now differently too. Where it's like
Yeah,
I hear the word space, I'm like, ooh, space.
subconsciously you're like, they're calling me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But I gotta say, when I saw it, like me and my whole family, we were super into it. I know I was especially super into it. Like there was
What did you see in it that I didn't?
well, I gotta say, even though it was long, there's a lot of context that was needed, and it had like a good pacing to where it was building up to something bigger afterwards. In the Snyder Cut, there was a lot of like information that was needed, especially like what the previous version of the movie didn't have. Like for example, from the top of my head, we have like there's like some
He can't even remember
Right?
anything.
I was gonna say
I'm
like
trying. I saw it like what was it 2 weeks ago? Not 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago. I don't remember.
about a week ago. A week
So
ago.
not only can he not remember anything from it, he can't even remember when he last watched it.
From what I am remembering from the top of my head, from the last time I saw it, there was a lot of context of like the characters that didn't even have a movie beforehand, like Cyborg, Aquaman. Like you already see like some of those characters do like their things before they actually enter combat, or when the other character like Batman or Wonder Woman brings them into the show. I mean movie.
Mm-hmm.
From what I remember, the first version, which I haven't even seen that in so long, so I may have details wrong here.
I've only seen it once, but yeah, go on.
If I remember correctly, in the original, Cyborg is only introduced to the audience when Wonder Woman goes looking for him. While in the Snyder Cut, it definitely shows Cyborg like acting, like being shown to the audience way before,
Yeah,
like early
he's
on.
introduced way earlier.
Yes, and that was needed because we start to understand who like what more of who Cyborg is. It's like, oh, so Wonder Woman's trying to get him, and that's it. Well, in this one, we have more of like his like okay, his stance on things. So that when Wonder Woman comes in, then it makes a lot more sense what she's trying to say. But yet at the same time, we understand Cyborg a little bit more.
Yeah, essentially, just looking at like the differences, the Zack Snyder cut is the full Avengers movie because like just imagine like if you just walk into the theater and like they show you like the whole like Marvel thing and like the first thing you see is like all the Avengers just gathered around in New York and that's it.
Yeah,
That's kind of what it's like.
I
That's
gotta say, it's the biggest issue that the Snyder Cut had to deal with was the fact that the majority of these characters haven't even had a movie. Batman and Superman
Yeah,
had the
but,
most movies out of all these people, and Wonder Woman, which at this time only had one movie out.
That's true, but and the only problem is that like Snyder's version of Batman hasn't really had a movie. Yeah, he had like the old ones, but like I don't think that's like part of that reality.
No,
Oh, yeah,
he
they're
only
two
had
different-
Batman v Superman, and that wasn't really
Yeah.
a Batman movie.
And that wasn't
Yeah.
really a Batman movie. It was like it was like Captain America: Civil War. It's not really a Captain America movie.
Yeah.
It was another Avengers movie, if anything.
Wow, I didn't even realize that was like the only movie he had was his version of Batman.
Exactly.
That is crazy.
That's the
and
problem with
and
the whole DC EU though, is that
mm,
there wasn't enough time. We didn't have enough setup for Justice League.
Yeah, I agree
it's
with that
true.
as
Yeah,
well. And that's like why the movie was so long, 4 hours, because you had to introduce these characters who hasn't even had their own like setup yet. Like
Yeah.
Batman only barely even had like a movie where it's like literally just him half, and then Superman, which already Superman. This version of Superman had previous movies beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. He had Man of Steel, and then Batman
I
v
mean,
Superman. Yeah,
we
no.
we got a fucking Suicide Squad movie before we got Justice.
That's true.
That's true.
We did.
And even that one was just, eh.
And that barely had anything to do with the DCEU to begin with.
Yeah,
To be honest, it was
it
just
was a mess. In my
it was
opinion.
just what are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad? And that was it. That was it. We're done.
The
I have
movie
an
died with the
idea.
Suicide Squad.
All of Jared Leto's scenes are meme worthy.
They are. Jared Leto is such a good actor, but him as a Joker was really weird.
He works. I'll give Snyder's Justice League cut this. He works as the Joker in that movie.
That's true.
If only because he was very downplayed.
Okay.
Like Zack Snyder was like, you can't be acting like a fool in my movie.
The Joker is supposed to be a fool, but you know fool.
All right, so let me get this right. So the Joker we saw at the in the Justice League Snyder cut is the same Joker from Suicide Squad.
Well, he's played by Jared Leto, so I have to assume it's the same one.
It should be the same one.
Because otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense.
Okay,
My-
because I was so
my-
confused. Like, which Joker is this? He's so different from everyone else. Like, who is he?
My only shtick is this: we're already
Yeah.
gonna get Robert Pattinson as the new Batman, so I'm over here like, like what are they gonna do about the fact that they still have Ben Affleck in the Justice League Snyder Cut movie, normal movie, Batman v Superman, and then in like I think the epilogue of Suicide Squad, like like how are they gonna, I wonder how they're gonna make that work.
It's like, I don't exactly know what the plan is at DC anymore.
I think
be
DC's
honest.
like just scratching everything again.
I think they may as well, because it's just one of those things where it's like you just gonna make it work. I'm sorry.
But then,
Mhm.
what is it? The issue is also, it's like, is Aquaman going to be the same? Is Wonder Woman going to be the same? Or are they going to swap them out with someone else as well?
Dang, that's kind of sad if
Since
they
the
do.
Justice League already established
Yeah.
that these characters knew each other. So, like, if you're going to scrap the whole universe...
I mean, like, Wonder Woman 84 kind of already tanked the Wonder Woman franchise, so
That's true,
Wait,
yeah.
really?
pretty much. It was like a financial and critical failure, so
Wow.
I'm not exactly... I have no faith in them keeping the DCEU alive.
Because I thought, like, Wonder Woman 18 was something.
1884.
1884.
From that movie, I didn't think it was bad. It was pretty
Yeah.
average, but it was still
Yeah,
pretty good.
there was like some moments I liked, especially with the what's his name, Pedro something, Pascal.
Well,
Pedro Pascal.
from what I know, because I haven't seen the Wonder Woman 84, but from what I heard, he's the
Oh.
best part of the movie.
Yeah, no, he's fucking. I love him. He's such a good actor, man. Like life is good, but can always be better. I love it.
That is
Man.
the best meme that came out of the movie.
To be honest, like Pedro Pascal is the ultimate, like best, like one of the best actors by far. Like he's been the Mandalorian. He was the guy. He was the I forgot the bad guy's name. I was gonna say Pedro Pascal in '84.
He just played himself.
He played himself.
I should know this. Who's the bad guy in 1984? It's damn, he was like in one of my favorite comic book stories too. I can't fucking remember. Well, Maxwell Lord.
There we go. And then what else? He was in Game of Thrones. He was in The Equalizer Part 2 as the bad guy there. I'm like, yo, this is some good stuff.
Got a
He's a
pretty
really
good bad guy.
I know you got yourself a really good actor.
Mhm.
And then apparently they're gonna do like a Last of Us show, and then Pedro Pascal as Joel.
Ugh. I
Eh,
gotta say, I'm not excited at all for The Last of Us, especially after The Last of Us
Yeah.
2. It better be like The
yeah.
Last of Us 1, or it's
And
not
that's
gonna
it.
be
And
that
that's
good.
and that's it. And that's it. We
We
just
don't talk
stopped
about
at
the second.
That's
we
the only in canon entry. There's no other Last
and then
of Us.
and then they decided to continue it. I'm like, no, no. All of this is OVA. This is side content now. Need to look at the whole entire.
It's non-canon.
Like they did like an entire season of Last of Us 2. Nope. All this is just side story.
Now the thing is, I wonder because is it going to have the same actor as like Joel from The Last of Us?
No, apparently they're gonna have because like the voice actor Troy Baker, he did like a post where he just posted like Pedro Pascal and he's like good luck or something like that. I don't know, it was like interesting because it is interesting.
Wait,
Like
do
you
we
got
know if
Pedro
it's going to
Pascal.
be animated?
No,
The show?
if they got Pedro Pascal, then I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like live action.
Yeah, that's my worry.
It wouldn't make much sense to make it animated, because otherwise, why not just play the game?
Why not just play the game or just go on YouTube and just watch or just watch gameplays?
Yeah.
My only shtick is like I don't think I've seen a live like show or movie where it has Troy Baker as an actor, but he's a damn good voice actor. So I'm like, maybe they should like just let him be Joel.
Well, being a good voice actor doesn't always mean you're a good actor. Just like
True.
a good actor doesn't mean you're a good voice actor.
Well, good voice actor, yeah. Unless you're Keith David, then you're automatically great at being both.
There's no question.
He's a damn good voice actor because he voice acted for the English dub of Princess Mononoke. He voice acted for several awesome games
He
like
was in Mass Effect.
he was in Mass Effect, Saints Row 4, and then what else? And then he was also in Rick and Morty. But we already know that there's some mixed feelings about that show, but still, it's pretty awesome. He's just awesome in general. He showed up in Grey's Anatomy as a gay guy and played it off really well, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. I want to marry him now.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gay.
I'm on the fence.
I'm undecided.
That reminds me of like I was going through YouTube and like for some reason I kept getting like this one recommendation where it's like, oh, it's a cover of I Need a Hero by this one person. I was like, I'll give it a shot, and I was like, bro, this is fucking amazing. She does it like she sings it so well that like you think that's like actually like from the actual movie. It's just amazing. And she does like a bunch of like other like covers and all that stuff. Like some of them like I think are okay. Some of them are like I'm like but some of them are like god tier. Like I remember she did one for she did a cover of that one song It's Hard to Be a God from El Dorado, and like just all the comments are like I was very before Anna Potts or whatever, they're like I was so confused about bisexuality. I think I might just be straight. And then like after hearing her, he's like, oh, I'm confused about my bisexuality. I think I'm actually a lesbian. And I'm like, I feel that. It's just like most of the comments is just them simp like, yes, this is good. The age of simp is here. But yeah, no, go check her out. She's a really good singer in my opinion.
Yeah, just a shout out.
Shout out. Because
This is not simping at all.
yeah. Okay, wait. Can we talk about like, so like, what would you like? What would you put in the category of simping?
I would define it as basically just letting yourself be like put down or like shamed by a woman just because they're a woman. That's what I would call simping.
What?
God damn, he went really, he went like full blown realistic. It was like,
It was the red pill.
yeah, it was just like, hey yo, let me just straight up be real with society here.
Can
It's
we
like,
get back to talking about Justice League now?
oh yeah.
I feel like we got way off track.
No, yeah, we did.
Hold on. Wait, because like we talked about Pedro Pascal in '84. Okay, wait, never mind. Yeah, Pedro Pascal is the source.
Thanks for nothing, Pedro Pascal.
Thanks a lot, Mando. Okay, go on about Justice League or something.
The one thing that I remember liking a lot in Justice League was a lot of the fan service, because they sneak in a couple references to other DC heroes in it, like the Atom and Green Lantern, and they even have Martian Manhunter at the end.
Oh yeah.
I like that a lot, but
Mhm.
like those moments were so few and far between for me that it wasn't enough for me to like the film.
Yeah, it's like it's like the Stan Lee cameos of no wait, no, never mind. They're still god tier. Never mind. It was like from Iron Man 2 when they did like a cameo of Captain America's shield.
Yeah.
What parts did you not like the most?
Well, I guess because even like the whole story with Justice League, and I'm talking about the actual story, not the stuff that happened behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
it's just not well written movie because the villain Steppenwolf is very bare bones and like personalityless. He's your typical I'm gonna destroy the earth bad guy,
For
and he
Dark
doesn't
Side.
really have a lot like going for him. Like the most interesting thing about him was the fact that he basically like Zack Snyder used him to introduce Darkseid like in the
Yeah.
DCEU.
Instead of just like, oh, here's Dark Side.
Yeah, and that was the problem with a lot of the film is that we get introduced to all of the members of the Justice League, but it's very bare bones. Like we only know the essential things about them, and I'm not sure how much of that problem is with the DCEU instead of Justice League. But I think at the end of the day, it's still a problem that we don't really know too much about these characters other than how they became heroes, like what their origins were.
Yeah,
Like they're all planks of wood, in my opinion.
basically.
That and oh my god, there were so many slow motion shots throughout the entire fucking movie. It was so boring. It was I couldn't get through like it was so insufferable to me because I'm like, can we have a shot in the movie that goes by normally without pretentious like fucking music playing in the background and the characters looking like this is some experimental art film?
You know what?
DCEU.
Funny enough, my brother definitely compared the Snyder Cut to like an artistic film more than like a Hollywood kind of film.
Yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't getting it. You know, it wasn't jiving with me.
DCEU was like, oh, they like the Quicksilver slow motion moments in X-Men. We should
We
just
should
keep
do
using
that
that.
all the
We should
time.
do that all the time.
Mhm.
I mean, they even managed to make the Flash boring, and I'm like, how do you do that? How do you make the Flash boring?
It's the Flash. I just realized their version is Barry Allen, right?
Yeah, which also
No.
didn't make any sense to me because they have him be like the smart ass like wisecracker, but that's not who Barry Allen is.
Yeah, it's
That's
not.
Wally West.
That's Wally. Yeah, I was like, I'm very confused. They call him Barry, but he has some Wally vibes.
Yeah.
Because like, I really, if anything, I will say that the DCEU, what I've been hearing from, they've definitely been successful in their animated movies.
Yeah, that's where they
Yeah.
excel at.
Yeah, that's where they excel at. And like, I always look back at like the old anime series, and like, that's just like pure art in its form.
Oh yeah, like all of DC's animated stuff is really good,
It's good. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
except for Teen Titans Go, but we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Anyways, I heard that they were going to give the Flash his own movie next year, which they said was going to be like the story was going to be an adaptation of the comic storyline Flashpoint, which is, in my opinion, I think that's a way for the writers to kind of reset the DCEU by having the Flash go back in time and create like an alternate timeline.
Oh yeah,
Because that's
Oh.
essentially what happens in Flashpoint.
yeah. That is what happens in Flash.
You know what? Funny enough, I gotta say, in the Justice League movie, the Snyder Cut, when they showed like that whole ending scene, definitely caught me off guard. This is like one of the positives, I gotta say. Like in the original version, they just win, right? Well, in like the Snyder Cut, they lose, and you see the bad ending. But then Flash does his like reverse time thing, and then
Oh yeah, that was probably like the best part of the movie, honestly.
yeah.
I like that because like it just goes to show like how amazing the Flash is too.
Yeah,
Not just like,
and
oh,
the
he's
actor
super
they got to
fast.
play him too was also really good.
Yeah, he actually had like multiple scenes. Well, in the previous one, he barely had anything.
Barely had anything. It was, I think like the only like memorable thing I remember from him was like, oh, he meets Batman, catches his batarang, and goes, oh, you're Batman. And then and then they fight, revive Superman, and he's like running, and then like slow motion.
Oh
Slow
yeah,
motion.
those were like the
That-
only two scenes in the past, but now he actually has a lot more to him.
That's good. That's good.
He probably like he has like the strongest introduction out of the new members of the Justice League
hmm
because he actually has more to go off of,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
So wait, okay. Since they added more content, do they give any context to remember that part in Batman v Superman where like the Flash shows up and he's like, "You were right," or something like that, I don't know. Like
Well,
Yeah.
Louis Lane is the key.
Louis Louis Lane. Yeah, Lois Lane is the key or something like that. Did they ever give that context? Or like
They cut that scene out in the Schneider cut, I think. Did they?
God.
Hold on, because they do reference the scene
They,
That's a
they
good.
reference a lot of like Lois Lane is the key, but
Yeah, I know that was referenced in one of the conversations that Bruce had with Diana, but I
Yeah.
don't remember if they explained it.
Because I'm over here like, does the Flash at some point just like go back in time and just because
Well,
like I
because the
figured.
thing is, like in Batman v Superman, that scene is a dream from the audience's
yeah, dream
perspective.
sequence.
So, like,
Oh,
that
are
makes
you
it even more.
serious? That was a dream?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense.
so the dream
exactly.
sequence.
You're realizing why Zack
If
Snyder is a
if
fraud.
anything, it makes more sense because like you guys mentioned about how like the Flash went back in time at the end or something,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
like I figured like, oh well, probably because like I don't know, stuff with Superman, so like he just went back in time and just put that in Batman's head, so then Batman was gonna remember about getting Lois Lane or something. I don't know.
yeah, it was a dream sequence.
It was a dream.
My question is, like, you know how that they have the Arrowverse on the CW that's made up of all the live action DC shows?
Oh yeah.
Is that gonna tie into the DCEU at some
I
point?
feel like it should because like because like aren't they already like because they did like a thing with like Supergirl and the Flash and then like the Flash and Arrow, right?
Yeah,
that's
they've
the
already
shows
like.
though. Like the shows.
Those
not
are the
the-
shows, yeah, but I don't know. I'm starting to feel like they should just like take the opportunity of like using like what they have because this goes to like Marvel as well. They have like a bunch of like shows, Marvel shows like that. I think they have like Daredevil, right?
Yeah,
Daredevil and yeah, other stuff. And I'm over here like they should just use those because those are good, content that because like in the sense like they've already like built worlds for them.
I think the problem with that on Marvel side of things is that they canceled their deal with Netflix, and so because of like legal problems, they
Yeah,
can't bring back the Defenders for a couple years.
yeah, because like because of Sony, we finally got back Spider-Man, but at what cost? And then Disney's over here like, no, it's not money. Yay, no cost, bro. It blew my mind when I found out that apparently like Disney owns ESPN.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
we didn't we talk about that last podcast.
Oh wait, we did.
Yeah,
It still blows my mind because I'm like, why the fuck does Mickey Mouse needs ESPN?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's so ridiculous. Like Disney should only stick with like movies and shows. That's what they do. They shouldn't be like dabbing into like news and like sports. But I can't remember if we said something
I'm
about the news or not.
I'm pretty sure in the
they
year
don't have the news.
I'm pretty sure in the year 2050 we're gonna end up like seeing, oh yeah, Mickey Mouse is running for president by the way. Oh, it's just nice. It's gonna be so thinking about how like because at this point Disney's just playing Monopoly. He's like, all right, I'm about to get Boardwalk. I'm gonna get Park Place because yeah, wait no, they got Fox, so that's fucking whack. They got ESPN.
Wait, so like Fox is in like Fox News?
No,
No,
studios.
no,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Oh,
they're
Fox Studios.
21st Century Fox.
But I'm
Got
pretty sure I'm pretty sure they're not gonna hesitate to get Fox News.
I mean, they already own ABC.
So I'm over here like they may as well just get Fox News while they're at it. Can you just imagine can you just imagine these people just like in a high pitched Mickey Mouse voice just
We can't talk bad about the mouse. Oh, we got the whip.
but we can't talk bad about the Democrats.
Or else it's back to the gulags for us.
Bro, that's gonna be fucking whack though. Imagine that like I feel like there's like a reality out there where Disney owns everything. So they own CNN and like Fox News. So I wonder how that's going.
Probably not very good.
Yeah, not good, obviously, but it's interesting.
Oh, speaking of like one of the interesting things, have you heard that Microsoft is trying to get Discord?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's quite scary.
They already got Bethesda. Who's
Oh
next?
yeah, they did buy Bethesda.
They
Yeah.
did. Oh wait, okay, I'm sorry. So like at some point when we were traveling to Dallas, I found a road that was called Bethesda Road, and then I made a joke. And I made a joke in the car. I go, "Gee, I sure hope that road's finished." And like everyone was quiet, and I was like, "God damn it!"
Ah, man, that was such a clever joke, though.
Yeah. see,
Nobody got it. Damn it.
funny, funny.
Funny joke.
I was so mad. Everyone was silent. They all looked at me. I was like, you just gotta know the context.
How could this happen to me?
Honestly. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of this. It is a bit scary though. Like these big companies just buying out everything, the small guys and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm very depressed that the government hasn't stepped in and tried to stop some of these deals.
It's the government. Come on, like all you have to do is just wave a bunch of cash, and then you're just like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's true.
capitalism at its finest.
I
And you're
gotta
just
say,
like,
the government has definitely been like lackluster on like actually fixing anything.
well, I mean, here's the thing though, because like a lot of their like a lot of the like I've learned that a lot of laws here in America they like favor businesses and all that stuff and like capitalism. So
Mm-hmm.
basically it's just another thing where it's like these guys are just what's the word? They're just moving the cog in the systems. All it's another cog in the system.
They're just pawns of like big corporations.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, big just bonds of big corporations. I'm pretty sure Bernie Sanders is owned by Disney.
I bet Disney has like all the politicians underneath their belt.
I'm pretty sure they do.
It would surprise me if they didn't.
Yeah,
weren't
it
they
would
like
really
the
surprise
one of,
me.
like the first few that opened up during coronavirus? Like, hey, come back here. We need money. It's like you don't.
That's another thing. Like Hollywood was like one of the first sources of like business that opened up during the pandemic. Like at the same time that like private businesses weren't allowed to open.
I know, it's fucking whack. It's like, oh, you're a small time business that you rely on your small time business for your family. Nah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we're just
yes.
gonna-
This.
We're
Ooh,
just
yes,
gonna cut off
Disney.
that source
Yes.
of revenue. You're
A
gone.
ton of like small businesses were just killed off because
I know. It was so sad, like driving through Dallas and like a bunch of buildings were just like blank, and I was like, bro, this is. Or even here in San Antonio, there's just
Yeah.
a lot of businesses where it's just blank now, and I'm like, this is kind of sad. Not gonna lie.
yeah.
And the government didn't even give us like the stimulus checks that they promised.
I
Like,
know, right?
It's very frustrating because people are like, oh, I got it. I'm over here like, where's mine?
It's like they cut off most people's source of revenue by shutting down the economy, but then they didn't bother to like give us a lifeline,
I know,
like
right?
to help support us.
Yeah,
But
that
if we're not allowed to make money, there should be a way for us to get money because we still need to like pay bills and get food and stuff. Like
Hey, you know that I don't want to be like the one like pushing my my ideas, but it's the fact that this is why I believe in like universal income. It's just for the fact that one.
Oh, UBI.
Yeah, universal income. It just makes sense to me because here we have a situation where you have like a ton of like, let's say we're getting to the future, right? Machines are going to be replacing tons of jobs, but yet the way we earn
Automation.
money is still like old fashioned where you need to work for it. But we're at a point where we are slowly getting to the point where we don't really need to work anymore, and yet the way the financial area is like you have to work. It's like, so you want me to just do a useless task to earn money? It's just like, and then sometimes you have a job where they don't need extra people because they already have all the people they need, and they just need better equipment and all that.
Yeah.
Gee, spaceman, you're sounding a bit like a communist right there.
But
You dirty commie.
You dirty communist. Quickly, spaceman, play Rasputin.
but yeah, that's where universal income, because with universal income, you would have enough money for what? Food, water, and housing. The three
The
things you
basic
do
necessities.
need. Yeah.
Yeah, the three necessities. Yeah, that's
And
just
then, like, if you want extra, that's why you get a job. You get extra pay, so you're like, oh, I want to get this computer. Oh, I don't want to get this car.
so you want
such and such.
so you get your luxuries. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it is really whack though how like we as a species went from like, oh, we have everything we need, it's just out there, but then people are like, no, I make money off of this. You want water? You pay me for water. Why did it go Asian for a second?
I didn't know that this was the communist podcast.
This was the communist podcast.
Oh man. But yeah, like it's like with all like the policies the government has in order to try to help like those without like income, right? You can easily remove all those like non-necessary like steps to do so, and just say, oh no, everyone has universal income. Everyone who's
Just
a citizen of the
take
United
out the
States-
welfare state and implement universal basic income.
Yeah, because then everyone like you remove all the money you're trying to put into each individual policy, and it's just you fix
It's like a
so much.
one-size-fits-all policy.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And
Like,
the funny thing is, the government will be saving more money because they are spending less on all these individual policies. It's only one policy, which would be universal income. Oh
it's
my
just
god.
it's really whack too because there's like also like these really like insane unnecessary taxes because hypothetically speaking, like I hypothetically got a speeding ticket once and I ended up paying almost 200. But the thing is like it's only like, oh, you pay like, I believe it was like $10 for every like mile over like the speed limit. So it was 10. So I only, $5. So it was like I only had to pay 50. That was what I was thinking. I was like, it's not so bad. I don't get why people are like so mad about speeding tickets. It's just like, oh, just $50, you know. But then like apparently I had to pay like 184 because of the court taxes, and I was like, wait, you mean to tell me I have to pay for court taxes even though I just want to pay the speeding ticket off? And then my dad was like, yeah, no, that's how it is. I'm like, what?
Yeah, man, that's a
Wait.
whole nother like ridiculous battlefield there that I don't have enough information, but just have the know-how.
That's true.
That is ridiculous.
That's true. Because the thing is, like, I don't really know much about it, but it sounds so stupid in my head. So, like, you're telling me that you basically want me to go to court, so then it'll be worth it for paying the court taxes. But here's the thing, though, because like then the judge would be like, well, this officer put a report that you were going 10 over the speed limit. And I was like, and the thing is, I obviously can't say, oh, well, everyone's doing it, because then it's like one of those things where it's like, is that really your argument? Everyone's doing it, so you're gonna do it too. But it's like one of those things where it's like, it's fucking stupid because because here's the thing, we're in Texas and it's a no-brainer that basically everyone goes 10 over the speed. So it's like, I don't know. It's just because like here's the thing. It's just like we live in a society where you give us
Society.
fast cars.
Sorry, I just had to do
You
that.
give us you give us fast cars. We see speed limit. We're like, ooh, that's fast. And then when we get used to it, and we're like, oh, this is slow. I want to go faster. And that's just how it is. And then we live in a society where people have
Society.
we live in a society where people have pickup trucks, boost them
Society.
up, and make them go faster than a Lamborghini. And I'm like, you don't need this. And then they add the muffler too, so pickup truck goes. I don't get it.
The world is dumb. That's the official theme of today's podcast.
We went from
Oh.
Justice League to World is Dumb.
The world is dumb.
That should be the subtitle for the next Justice League film.
Justice League, World is Dumb. Oh.
That would make a great Plastic Man movie.
A Plastic
Yeah.
Man movie?
Yeah,
Do you not know who the Plastic Man is?
Do you not know who the Plastic Man is, my guy?
Never heard of it.
So you are a communist.
Yeah.
you
Do you want me to
fail.
like answer that, or should we move on to another topic?
I guess it's up to you.
I mean,
Because I can go into a whole spiel about Plastic Man, because he's been like one of the most shit on superheroes in DC.
Wait, that's actually a character? I thought we
Yeah,
were talking about like some
it
sort of genre. I was like, what?
Oh, what?
No. We're talking
yeah,
about a specific person.
Oh yeah, what would you put this movie, like, what's genre? Oh, Plastic Man. Oh, okay. Proceeds to put The Hobbit in the Plastic Man genre.
This is why Spaceman is a shitty co-host.
This is why Spaceman is a communist.
Let's get back to Justice League now, because we still haven't gone through all 4 hours of that film.
Oh man.
Yes, we need to.
Like,
I gotta
are we-
ask, like, if like this was Zack Snyder's original vision, how exactly was he planning on putting this out to theaters?
If I remember correctly,
It's true.
I think it was posted on one of the group chats where they basically planned to cut up that movie into 3 parts, which definitely would have not worked.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
there's enough content for it to be split into 3 parts.
Yeah.
Because the thing is like, I believe it's like a 3-hour mark for movies. That's why, like, for Endgame, like they were still able to like get away with it, even though, well,
Well,
Actually,
things were different for Endgame because that was like the culmination of the entire MCU.
Yeah, I was gonna say
behind
that.
each
Yeah,
character.
it's still a bit different, but like I'm still trying to say like how, like, in terms of like the lengthwise, because I believe the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits, they're also a good example because they have theatrical versions and then they have extended versions which have like context to it that's like unnecessary. Like you don't really need them, but it's like, oh wow, so that's how that happened, huh? Yeah, because the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies are definitely long too. They're like 2 hours, I believe.
Yeah, but then again, those are long books, so
That's true, they are. Yeah, I gotta give them props for like getting big books and then putting it all in like one movie and doing it so well.
hmm
Narnia, I'm joking. Even though Narnia is so good. Bro, I'm so sad in Narnia.
This is now the Narnia podcast.
It's so good. The first one was awesome. Prince Caspian was awesome. The boat one was kind of but yeah. What are you gonna do?
What you
But
gonna do?
it was still awesome because you had a kid turn into a fucking dragon.
Oh, hey, I have something to like ask.
I'm not gay.
That's not the question.
Okay, moving on.
Different question. Different question.
Bro, just imagine that you're about to interview I don't know, a famous person at like Comic-Con or something. You go up to the mic and go, "Yeah, I've always had a question for you." He goes, "I'm not gay. We're moving on." It's like, "What? Next person." What the hell was that?
Then the
Oh,
next
sorry.
person comes on, and they're like, "I have a question." No, I'm not gay.
I'm sorry. Go on. You
Damn,
go
I
on. Your
forgot.
question.
You made me forget.
Yes, this is my
That's
plan
his
all
superpower.
along.
He makes people forget what they were gonna say.
That is true. Yeah, if you catch me on a good day, I'll end up like just chatting away, and then we'll end up being like, "Wait, how did we talk about Abraham Lincoln in underpants? I have no idea." And then we try to look back, and we're like, "Yeah, I have no idea how it all started." Yeah, me neither. It's like you came here to borrow a cup of sugar, and we ended up talking about Abraham Lincoln and underpants. Whack.
So, since we were on the topic of what's gonna happen to the DCEU in the future,
Mm-hmm.
if you were planning to like reboot the whole thing, how would you go about doing it?
I actually have a movie for each character before the group adventure.
Yeah, but like, how would you
where
do
would you
that?
start out?
Yeah, where would you start out?
Well, I mean, you always gotta start out with your like poster boy, so it's definitely gonna be Superman, then Batman, and then all the other characters afterwards.
Well, you could go that route, but
That's
you
true,
could
yeah.
also go the like what the MCU did, where they started out with the very low level like heroes, at least in terms of like power and like popularity. And you could go that route and just sort of slowly build it up
Man,
until you get to like the Avengers
I forget
and
that
stuff
Iron
like
Man
that.
sometimes just like was before like the MCU was not like that much popular or something like that.
He kind of really wasn't.
He was a B-list superhero.
But then he became S list, which is awesome. I don't care. Rankings should be S, A, B, C, D, E, F. I don't care.
Z.
I think with DC, there's like so many things you could do, like to start, like begin a shared universe.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were gonna like reboot the whole thing, I think you have to start really small and go with the more basic heroes first
Yeah,
before you do anything major.
Because me personally, I kind of want, like, if I was to reboot it, I just go off from the end of like Suicide Squad, like make that as like, like let that be in the introduction, kind of like, but do Suicide Squad a bit more differently, but still keep like the ending where like the end scene where like Bruce was like talking to what's her face, fucking Waller, all that
Mhm.
stuff. Because that I realized that's what they were kind of trying to do, where like, at the end of Incredible Hulk, you had Iron Man pull up with the general or something and introduce the Avengers Initiative or something. I don't know. I have no idea. But something like that. And I was like, this is. I actually wouldn't have minded it if they went off like this, where it was like
Mhm.
that, and then you have Batman. Or no, it's like that, but then you have like the other like heroes, like like with their movies, and then at the end scene, or like just somewhere along there, you just see like Batman just like attempting to like talk to them or something, or I don't know, keep an eye on them, because that's what Batman does. He's because like that's what he's notorious for. Within like the DC universe, was just like, oh, he made like several contingency plans for all the heroes in case they went bad. So obviously he would keep an eye on them and all that stuff. Then so I think I would have done that, where like just go off Suicide Squad's like prologue scene, and then I guess keep it to where like it was like Wonder Woman, and then I guess introduce Superman, and then
Yeah.
Batman, then the Flash. Oh, no, Batman, then the Flash, then Cyborg, and then Aquaman. Yeah.
I gotta say, thinking about like what other ways we could do it. If I remember correctly, Shazam could be like an interesting candidate to have right off the bat.
forgot about
Since
Shazam.
like he's like a kid point of view, so he's learning everything as he goes. It would be interesting
Yeah,
to
that
see
would-
his point of view as
Man,
he
that
grows
would
as a
be
hero.
so cool.
Yes, and here's the thing too, is because like because Zack Snyder likes to be like realistic, and because I remember in the Justice League Unlimited, Shazam left the Justice League because of he was like because like he didn't believe that like the Justice like Superman could be such an asshole, and so they could get away with that in the movies as well because Zack Snyder likes things to be dark.
Yeah, funny
I'm
enough.
consistently surprised by how well written the cartoon version of the Justice League is.
It's so good. I feel like it doesn't. I feel like it shouldn't be that good, but it's just so good. Like I remember that. I don't know why. Like though, like every time I remember the Justice League Unlimited, I always look back to like that one episode of where like Green Arrow took on a huge like mech with like one arrow, and I'm like, bro, that's fucking awesome.
Do you remember the body swap episode where the Flash
Oh
and
yeah,
there's
where the
switch
Flash
bodies?
and Lex Luthor switched bodies, and then like Lex was like, "Wait a minute, I can finally know the Flash's identity." He takes off the mask. He's like, "I don't know who he is."
That's not only funny, but that raises a legitimately good question. Like,
It
how many
does.
supervillains would actually know the secret identities of these heroes?
Exactly, because like it's just like would the Joker know the Flash's identity? Because like because like at this point he doesn't even know about Batman, but like still,
Yeah.
it'd be really whack if like the Joker was like, "Oh Shazam, I know who you are. You're that one kid.
That one kid from that one place from that one area.
You're that
Yeah.
you're that one kid I did the birthday party for." Just looking at a grown ass man, and he's like, "How did you know?" He's like, "I don't." Oh,
And
man.
then Batman's just like shaking his head in shame.
He proceeds to kick the Joker's ass. Sends it back to Arkham. Man, it's just one of those things where it's like, to me at this point, I'm not really expecting any good movies, any good live action movies from the DC universe. But in terms of their animated stuff, it's just god tier.
Well, they have made good movies before. I mean, there was the Dark Knight trilogy, and the
That's true.
original Superman films.
You just
It's
need a
true.
good director. It doesn't,
They just
the company itself
That's true.
may not be the biggest issue. I'm talking about Disney and like Star Wars. That was the biggest issue. But
yeah.
for
It's
DC,
just
it's just the directors that they
yeah.
need to
Because
focus
thing
on.
is, they've been using Zack Snyder a lot, and he is good, but it's just
He's a great director. He's
yeah, he
just a
is.
really terrible writer.
It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, you don't want to constantly keep using Steven Spielberg, or like you don't want to constantly keep using the Russo brothers or whatnot, because like with Marvel they got the I forgot his name, because like it's not always the Russo brothers with Marvel. It's like what's his
They
name?
get
I
they
forgot
get
his name.
Joss Whedon. They
Yeah.
get who else did they get? They get Peyton List for the Ant-Man movies and James Gunn for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and also like you just need to have good producers and writers and all that stuff because
Yeah.
you can still have like a bomb ass director like Steven Spielberg, but still have shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
if from what I believe, writers are the most important from any movie. You could have like a terrible movie with terrible animation and all of that. If he's a good writer, that terrible like animated movie will become somehow a classic because people like that's the art style that we're looking for. Even though it's just the writing that was made it superior.
Yeah.
Because like it just flashed in my head about like I remember watching this one movie where like the animations were amazing, but it was just a really terrible plot. What was it?
Well,
Uh,
what specific things do you remember about it?
I don't know why. It just flashed in my head. Final Fantasy Spirits Within. But no, I was thinking of something else, but I can't. It's just like I thought of like that, and then Final Fantasy, and I was like, no, stop it, no, I'm focused on this. It kept showing me
Purge you
fucking,
from my mind.
kept showing me Final Fantasy. I'm like, god damn it, no. Yeah, you can have something like Final Fantasy Spirits Within, where it was like god tier animation for its time and all that stuff, but it's just I don't get it.
It was a massive joke.
It kind of was. You got Ben Affleck, Steve Buscemi, Donald Sutherland. I don't know. That one guy with the good voice, Astro Boy.
Oh, really?
I mean, cause like the first time watching it, I was like, ooh, but then I was a kid. But then like I watched it lately, and I was like, this is it's pretty meh, I guess.
Yeah, that was how I felt about it.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
definitely.
okay.
Yeah, it was meh, but it's just one of those things because like you had like an entire series to live up to it, and you put it all in like a movie. Well, not put all of it in a movie, but you know what I mean. It's just the thing is like I love Nicolas Cage, but he's just I don't know about like him being a voice actor. It just downplays a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, he gets it right some of the time. Like, I think he was the perfect voice for Spider-Man Noir and Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes, yes, most definitely. He was
Agreed.
amazing for that. He was amazing. Because
That's
just
pretty much the only thing from that movie that I really liked.
to be honest, because like everything else that he's voice acted in is just like kind of downplays it because he just has like a really like monotone voice sometimes. And
Yeah,
I'm
he
like,
just acts like a robot.
yeah, and I'm over here like, you know, an Astro Boy. I was over here like, are you sure you're not a robot? Freaking going like, you're not Toby, you're just a robot. I'm like, no, you're the robot. Shut up. Because it's so sad seeing like how like they tried to like animate his character to have to like, you know, make up for his voice, but it just doesn't work sometimes. So I'm like, damn, man, I really feel bad for them.
Yeah. Although most of the time you can't blame bad voice acting on the actor. It's really more to do with the direction.
That's true. That's true. Because like that's the thing that I have a problem with sometimes with like anime dubs because I know they can be good. It's just the fact like oh you know like I'm pretty sure because the people are just like oh you know just read the lines and all that stuff. But it's like no, I genuinely feel like you should have the voice actors watch the anime so then they have an idea of what to do like of how to say the lines and also like you know like give them a good direction of it as well because it's just one of those things where it's like you know it'd be really nice to have really good English dubs of anime, but it's just sad because you know just the voice acting is just wrong.
Hmm. It feels like they get people with no acting or directing experience to make dubs.
Exactly, yeah. Because like just imagine if like you know Dragon Ball, like it being dubbed and all, like you know just imagine like that getting bad voice acting or at least like bad direction of voice acting.
Frieza.
Just yeah, just freaking Goku going Frieza or Naruto or like all the other mainstream.
Those are the ones that people usually say have good dubs, right?
Yeah. Dragon Ball, Naruto, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's because of yeah, because like all of them. Like wait a second, yeah, Naruto and Dragon Ball. I believe they fall under Funimation, and Funimation has a really good like voice actor like set or
Department.
department. There we go. So it makes sense, but like, what's a good example of like something outside of Funimation? I wouldn't
Mm,
know actually. To be honest.
any of Studio Ghibli's films, they usually have pretty good voice acting.
They do, yeah. Yeah, Studio Ghibli has also good voice acting because of the fact that they got like a bunch of good people in there too. Like they got Liam Neeson and Ponyo, they got Keith David and
They
Princess.
did get Liam Neeson.
They
That
did,
is
yeah.
like
That
the
was
weirdest casting choice.
it. Kind of was, but it worked in a bit. It worked, and I was like, huh. I don't know how to feel about this, but I like it. I love it. Studio
Mhm.
Ghibli is just great in general.
Yeah, but have they made something recently? I feel like they've gone on hiatus.
They
I
did.
no
They did
wait, they
make
did.
something recently. It was like a 3D like
It was like a
witch
3D.
kind of movie.
Yeah, and it looked like it was like some like it was like a musical as well because like the cover art was like them in a band. And I was like, this looks interesting, but I never got around to watch it. I need to watch it. I'm watching it right now. Okay, guys, I'm leaving.
Just drops out of the call.
Right, just drops out a call. Oh no, my they're in the trees.
They're in the trees.
They're in the trees.
I'm gonna say that every time I need to fake bad reception.
Man, like I know Nam was terrible, but I just love all the memes that came out of it. like
Yeah.
like the excessive use of Fortunate Son. I love looking back at that one meme video of like Star Wars, but it's Nam, and it shows them playing Battlefront, and it's them like doing like the what do you call those fucking little teddy bears again? It was something. The Ewok hunt, and then like just them, like one of them going, "They're in the trees!" Start shooting and start. I'm like, yes, this was Nam.
I mean, if you think about it, the Ewoks' homeworld would be just Vietnam.
Yeah.
Would just be Nam, yeah. You know, it's crazy to think like, cause like I've been also rewatching the Clone Wars lately,
Which
and
one?
the 3D one, you know, and like it's kind of an interesting thing because like I look back because I recently rewatched the one where like they try to liberate Ryloth and everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I look back at it and I'm like, this kind of resembles a bit of America because you know you have like because you have them you know coming in, saving the day, rescuing you know the hostages or rescuing the oppressed people on us stuff, and they're like you know, and it's one of those things where it's like I kind of feel bad because like the soldiers, you know, they believe what they're doing is good, then ultimately you know because who's truly in charge, they kind of have like these really shady and bad agenda that
Yeah.
just comes off as like you know, oh well, what do you know, just a lot of whatchamacallit.
Politics.
Yeah, a lot of politics and also wow, I can't believe I forgot the word similarities. Yeah, there we go, similarities between that and then our real life stuff. Because actually, I'm not gonna get into it because otherwise, I'll end up going on a rant and then at some point the FBI is gonna break into my door and be like, are you this man? And then replay the clip and I'm like, I know, no, that's Spaceman. He's the communist. He, he's he's
Go
the
after him.
You want him.
We were talking about the DC universe, right?
Yeah,
Before we
yeah,
went
yeah.
on this tangent.
Yeah, we keep going off tangents.
The whole podcast's like, we tried to talk about DC.
But it's
Yeah,
just,
that's the title. We tried.
yeah, we tried. We tried. Movies are bad. Could have been better. Cartoons are better. Everything else is better than DC. I'm joking now.
Why don't they just hire the writers of the Justice League cartoon to write the movie?
To be honest,
That's the easiest solution they can just have.
but it's just like, no, we don't wanna. We don't wanna do that.
But then again, the directors of those. Well, I mean, I guess it could still work, but like in a 2D setting and a 3D setting, it may be different.
Just basically just have Zack Snyder or other good directors other than Zack Snyder just be there along with the cartoon director, because I feel like that's the thing too that they should do, just have directors working with each other, because yeah, it's gonna cost a bit more money, but I feel like if you want a good product,
But then again, sometimes they can clash, which
That's true, yeah, because they're like, oh, I made this movie.
my vision is this, but my vision is that.
But
Yeah.
I mean, to me personally, because I don't think Steven Spielberg is that much of an asshole. So I'm gonna use him as an example. I'm pretty sure if you got Steven Spielberg along with another, I don't know, cartoon director, I'm pretty sure he would listen because I'm pretty sure his goal in life is just to make good movies. That's what he wants to do. So
Yeah.
that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna make good movies, and so he's gonna do everything he can in his power to make good movies.
But that's more like trying to find the right director for.
That's true. Yeah, it's just it's
Because
so
if you
hard.
have a hard-headed director and you have one that's willing to listen, it still won't work because the one that's hard-headed, he'll still be like, no, we're going this way and that's that. And
Exactly,
then the good guy, the good director would be like, no, it would be better like this, and then you have conflict.
Because it reminds me of the Fast and Furious movies, because you have Jason Statham, freaking The Rock, and Vin Diesel, and those guys don't like the idea of them losing fights or all that stuff, and so that's another problem why the Fast and Furious movies are kind of wacky, because of the fact that you have actors that are like, no, I don't want to be known as the guy who played the character that lost and all that stuff. No, I want to win. But then then you have a director that's literally is written down that you're supposed to lose. You're the bad guy. No.
Plus, you gotta remember that there's studios that have their own interests as to how the movie should play out.
That is so true. Yeah, because then you have studios. Because imagine Studio Ghibli making. Actually, I have no idea. Studio Ghibli is just amazing.
Well, one example you could use going back to DC is literally Snyder cut
There
the
we
original
go.
version.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
DC wanted
Although
the
I
original
think that was
version.
more a mix of studio interference and personal stuff happening in Zack Snyder's life.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not like he left. It's not like he was forced to leave production. He chose to walk away.
That's true. He did, because they're fucking assholes.
But yeah, it's very complicated, the process of making a film, especially when you're trying to make an adaptation of comic books.
That's true, yeah.
And when you're underneath a company and investors and all that.
And also the thing is you don't want to be known as the guy that screwed up your childhood by making a really terrible movie.
Yeah.
Because just imagine that, I chose to make a film adaptation of Spaceman. Give me a good childhood story. I don't know, something you grew up with.
Wally.
Alex, give me something.
We all know Wall-E isn't a good movie.
Actually, what?
What?
That was joking.
Go on.
but-
Oh, wow, okay. You got me concerned.
I thought you got the joke.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, we got serious for Wally. I had to sing for Wally. Actually, I don't know why, but it hit me. I kind of want to make Wally an anime. Okay, look, hear me out. Cause you know how there's anime of battleships, but they're waifus, and then you have like an anime where like guns are waifus. So I'm like, what if I just made Wally a robot humanoid person? And then I started thinking about it more. I'm like, I think I could make it work because his things, whatchamacallits, his rolly things, I don't know, his tank wheels. I'll call them his tank wheels.
Treads.
His treads, yeah. They could like I could make like he's just like those are like roller skates for him, and then his eyes can be his goggles. And I'm like, oh, I'm like I want to make this now. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna make a Wally anime.
That's hilarious. If I remember correctly, Disney's already kind of doing that, like making like their old movies like into like short animated like anime films or something like that. I know they did it with like Up, where they just
They
basically
did
go
it
through
with
the whole-
Ratatouille.
Oh, they did it with Ratatouille
Right,
as
they did do
well.
Ratatouille. Yeah, because it's just one of those things where it's like it interests me because like ever since I heard about like the Pixar theory, I'm like we basically got a universe right here that
Yeah.
it's ripe for the taking. It's got to find a way to make it work.
Man, the thing
Mhm.
is, you could easily like have like some sort of like overarching like story over what is it? The Big and Large. They show up everywhere.
That's
that-
true. They do.
But how-
There's a thing that
well-
dooms Earth.
I don't know. I think some Pixar films are a little too like their concepts are a little too weird to fit into an overarching universe.
That's true. That's true.
Wait,
Yeah,
which
like
one?
with Brave and
And with Cars,
Oh yeah.
Cars. Yeah, because like how's that gonna work? And people are like, oh, nuclear war, and everyone left, and the cars were left, and they became like people, and I'm like, huh?
I've
Yeah.
heard the one that the cars are actually just insects using it like a hide.
Oh,
Like how Snail would like use a shell. It's just like an insect kind of like mutation. Where instead of like just having like building their own like exoskeleton, they use the exoskeleton of like cars and vehicles. Since they have mouths, eyes, and they seem to have a biological structure within the metal.
it's interesting. That's very interesting. But it's just one of those things where it's like it's kind of weird though because like in a sense, because in Wall-E, like how many years was it again? 700 years, right?
just about.
Yeah, just about 700 years. So I guess that could work in a sense because from looks of cars, they basically because like let's say a nuclear war did happen or something. I don't know. What was it? What was the premise of Wall-E again? Like there was too much like trash.
Pollution.
So
Yeah, pollution.
yeah,
Well,
so
that's
everyone-
the thing too, because in the world of Cars, the world is pretty much the same as like our
Yeah.
world.
exactly. So I'm like, how would they fit that?
If I remember correct, some theories say that even like Wall-E is before Cars, like by millions of years. Basically, as soon as like humanity like goes back on Earth and all that, they go back into extinction, and then that's where everything else like ants, cars, and happen like all those animal films or vehicle films. They come far into the future after humanity has already died. That's why you see remnants of humanity, but even though humanity does not exist anymore.
But the only problem with Cars is that like if it's supposed to be after Wall-E, then like shouldn't they have like the high tech stuff just like in Wall-E?
That's true.
That's-
A
Yeah,
lot
they
of the
sh-
technology in Cars is very modern.
It's very modern. So I'm like, so that means like it have to be. Well, I can't say it's like during like Wall-E's timeline of like 700 years because from the looks of their technology, it's still like a bit futuristic. So cars can't within the Wall-E's like movies timeline or something like that 700 years. So it has to be like a bit before us. But I'm like, how? Like all I'm saying is this: whoever's the genius that comes up with like a way to like start theory work is
Yeah.
god tier. That's all I gotta say because it's just bro.
It's really difficult.
Bro. I know the key. It's the pizza guy. It's the pizza guy.
He's the
He's the
mastermind behind everything.
He's the mastermind because he's in every movie. He's the Stan of Pixar.
Isn't the Stanley of Pixar that one guy that voices the truck in Cars, the 18-wheeler, and also
Oh, yeah,
the
he
Abominable
is.
Snowman?
Yeah, him.
I think
but
he's the Stanley of Pixar.
too bad he dead though.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, then he really is the Stanley of Pixar.
Oh my god, he is. Oh man, then what would the pizza guy be equivalent to? Just the pizza guy.
He's
pizza
just the
guy.
pizza guy.
He's just the pizza guy that can travel between realities.
Mhm.
Actually, I wouldn't mind
and
that.
also, if we were to make an overarching Pixar universe, how would Coco and Soul fit into that if they both have wildly different depictions of the afterlife?
That is so true.
Unless there are like different ways of the afterlife. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where
If you, like what was it with different religions and all that, there could also be the idea that maybe there's just multiple different ways the dead can move on.
Or maybe, yeah, maybe they could get away with it. Be like, oh, because you believed in this way of life, or a lot of stuff.
Oh
Then
yeah, like it's dependent on what you believed on Earth.
yeah, because that's still like what's speculated today. Because people are like, oh, I'm going to go in Nirvana or heaven, or no, I'm just going to be reincarnated instantly. It's more of like what you believe.
I don't know. Well, I guess because the question is in Soul and Coco, they're both like they're not written from the perspective of the character per se. Like everything that happens is pretty like objective. It's
That's
not like
true.
up to interpretation. So we're being given like actual concrete, like this is what happens in the afterlife.
This is what happens in
We see
afterlife.
what we see what the characters go through. So
That is true.
I don't know. I feel like if it was written like, oh no, this is what the characters think are happening, then you could argue that if you believe in one version of the afterlife, then that's what happens to you. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
That's
both
true,
of
Because
those are
yeah,
pretty
because
concrete.
it's concrete, it's just like different realms of the afterlife or different like locations of the afterlife. But then again, Soul has like the whole world and all.
Yeah.
But then again, in Soul we don't know what's in the great beyond. So it could be next thing you know, Coco's like beyond the great beyond.
That's the sequel.
Funny because you think Soul is the one that's beyond the great beyond, but no, it's
Yeah,
freaking Coco.
Am I the only one who didn't like the ending of Soul?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it was kind of
I
lackluster.
really felt it would have been stronger if man, I forget the main character's name. Well, if they had died and
The
gone to
piano
the great beyond, that would have been a much stronger ending to me.
Yeah, definitely. Like that scene where he just going up, he keeps going up and up and up, and then the end.
Yeah, and I heard, cause I've mentioned before on an earlier podcast, my favorite cartoon reviewer, Mr. Enter, did a review of the movie that was very positive, and he defended the ending by saying, "Oh well, we don't necessarily know what the main character did after he came back, so you can't say it ruins the message of the film." And I'm like, wait a minute, you can make that same argument for if the main character goes into the great beyond. Because we don't know what's in the great beyond. We don't know what happens to you
We don't
after
know what
you
happens
go
there.
there. So why couldn't the movie have ended with him giving up his life?
Yeah.
Because the whole point of the film is to try and is for the main character to try and get what's the soul's name, like number 2?
Is it 22?
22. Yeah, the whole point is to try and get 22 to find a reason to live and want to experience life on Earth. It's kind of like the whole film is like an allegory for like life and death in a way.
Yeah, soul for soul, basically.
Yeah.
I thought it is. I'm joking.
But yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like about Soul was the ending.
Yeah, otherwise it was a really good movie in my opinion.
I'd say
probably one of Pixar's best.
really.
Mhm.
For me, it's just it's all right. It's good, but it's all right.
You see, you wouldn't understand because you're a communist.
Yeah, you dirty
Nothing.
genius.
Wait, you kind of cut off there, so it sounded like you said you dirty hygienist, and I'm like, what? It's so whack how like we went in, we were planning on talking about fucking DC, but we ended up talking about a lot of other things.
Yeah,
That's the
this
one
is
thing we
the
can't
off
do.
tracked podcast.
We just can't stay on topic for too long, or we will
It's
just
just
get
it's
sidetracked.
just to me again. I'm just gonna revert to what I said. I'm just gonna accept the fact that there's probably not gonna be a good DC movie pretty soon. So I'm just gonna stick with the animated ones because those are god tier.
Yeah, most of them are anyway.
Yeah, most of them are. But I will always look back to the one scene of Lex Luthor going, I can finally know who the Flash's identity is. I don't know who he is.
I love the speech that the Flash gives while he's in Lex Luthor's body. He's like, "Hello, fellow bad guys. We're here to enact my very evil villain plan that you better not question." Any questions?
Oh yeah, no. Or what I also love is the fact that like they ended off the series like so well because like they got like Lex Luthor doing like a good thing, saving the day and all that stuff, basically getting the dub. And then like at the end, like all the heroes and villains are gathered and they were like, all right, time to go to jail. And one of the villains is like, what? We helped you save the world and you're not even gonna give us like you're not even gonna let us go. and then like I think Wonder Woman goes like, "You have 5 minutes" or something like that,
Mm.
and then it just goes off to like, "Oh well, they're just gonna do their regular thing because there's heroes and villains," and I'm like, "This is nice. I
Yeah,
like this."
I think I don't think that the animated Justice League gets a lot of credit for is that they use a lot of characters that you would normally never see.
Mm-hmm.
For example, in the second and third seasons, there's a couple episodes that have the Question in it, and
Yes,
he's legitimately one of my favorite DC characters.
dude,
And
he's awesome.
man, they did such a great job with him in the show. Like they got like a good voice actor and just really great stories.
Yep. And like I also like that one part where like or no, I just love the episode entirely where like, you know, they just have like the heroes clashing, like Arrow and Canary against to name the Huntress in question. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cause all it was
And
all
also
like
really funny.
yeah, and it was all like a thing of morality or something because the Huntress wanted to kill the guy that killed her parents, right?
Uh-huh.
But then like wasn't it like wasn't like one of those things where whatchamacallit, where it turns out her parents were like gangsters too, right?
Yeah.
Something along those lines, yeah. Where so there was like one of those things where it's like, you know, should she or should she not, and like, you know, is it like good basis or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just love the DC. I just love the Justice League animated series in general. It's so good.
Yeah. So anyway, Spaceman,
You communist.
I was going to ask you a question, but I forgot it.
Hey, the question is, what was the question?
What's a question, spaceman? That reminds me of like Goblin Slayer. I don't know why, but it suddenly just gave me a flashback to like when Goblin Slayer was being trained by this old weird goblin dude. I think I don't know. But he was like training him, and then he was like, you know, oh, there's like icicles in the ceiling, and you know, for every answer you say wrong, you know, they all fall and they might kill you. And then he goes, so here's a question: what's in my pocket? What?
What?
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, you mean it? But yeah, that's what I just remembered when Alex was like, I forgot my question. Oh yes, the question is, what's in my pocket?
I believe that's like a reference back to Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Right, man. Imagine that Goblin Slayer is part of the Lord of the Rings.
Mm.
Oh, that'd be wild. Yo, I can't wait for season 2 of Goblin Slayer. Just saying. Yeah, I really love Goblin Slayer. It does so well with his world building and everything. It's just it's amazing.
You know what I can't wait for?
Wait,
Season 2 of Demon Slayer.
I still need to get on that. Wait,
Really
wait.
good.
You mean to tell me this entire time there hasn't been a season 2 yet?
Not yet. I know the movie just recently released in the United States. But besides
Wait,
that,
how many movies have there been of Demon Slayer?
one so far. It's still
What
pretty
did
new.
When did Demon Slayer come out?
Let me actually search that up real quick.
Hold on, yeah, I'm gonna look it up. When did Demon Slayer? 2019. So for actually that kind of makes sense. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, it's still pretty new.
It's still pretty new. Yeah, I thought it was like 2017 or something like that, but no, it's 2019. So I'm like, oh, okay. No, that's good. Like the art
wait,
style.
Travis, have you heard
yeah.
that they pushed back filming for the last season of Better Call Saul?
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's getting pushed back to next year.
Yeah. Whatever. I still need to catch up on that, but yeah, it's just man, there's a lot of things I still need to catch up on. Jesus, it's so hard. It's a hard, not life for us.
I knew eventually we were gonna reference Annie.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of time.
It was not. It was not a matter of why, only when. So whack though, because you know Better Call Saul is actually really good. Yeah, I like Better Call Saul. I remember the last time I watched it probably was like back in high school, I think. But the last thing I remember was what's his name? Jimmy's brother. He was like back in the state of oh, I'm a shut-in now and like I don't like electricity, but he was like depressed, so he kicked the lantern or whatever and it started a fire and he supposedly died or something.
Well, not supposedly, he did.
Yeah, he did die because they just left it they just left it off there. But then in the next season, you told me that apparently he did die. And I'm like, ah, it's sad.
We've talked about this before.
We did, we did. We did. It's just I'm just recollecting all the stuff that happened in the Better Call Saul.
Yeah,
Because I think it's good too. Like Breaking Bad, there was like a lot of moments where I was like, you know, where it's like, but then like Better Call Saul, I'm like, ooh, it's good.
really, because it's kind of the opposite for me.
Oh,
Breaking Bad is one of my favorite shows ever, and in fact, I'd call it one of the best shows ever.
Yeah,
And
it
Better
is.
Call Saul has just been like, it's alright.
And then the movie, whatchamacallit, what the movie of Breaking Bad, what was it called again?
El Camino.
El Camino. I was like mad about it because I don't know. It just felt like one of those things where it's like should have just made it an episode instead of a movie.
Well, I think they
'Cause
were originally gonna make it a mini series, but Netflix offered the creators of Breaking Bad more money if they just condensed it into a movie instead. So that's what they went for.
Because I don't know, just the pacing of El Camino as well.
So anyway, back to the DC EU.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. I was like, so anyway, back about Justice League, the live action.
What's
But,
the one thing that like surprised you, Spaceman, about the Snyder Cut? Like the one thing that was like, ooh, I didn't expect them to do this.
Especially the Flash and the bad ending thing. Like when things didn't work out and like everyone basically died, I was like, whoa, whoa, and then that's where the Flash really showed up. I was like, okay, this was quite epic indeed.
Although he gets injured like before he saves everyone, and
He gets
they
injured
show
multiple
his
times
injury.
throughout the movie.
Yeah, they show his injury healing itself. But is that one of like the things that the Speed Force can do?
Yeah.
Because I thought that it just let him go super fast.
Yeah,
Did-
no,
I-
like
I
was
didn't
it
know it had-
his
Guys going,
healing?
yes.
Yeah, his healing is sped up as well, which is funny enough.
Oh, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But you
Speed
know.
Force,
I mean-
am I right?
Also he eats a lot, so I just assumed that like all the nutrients just replenish it or something. I don't know, some BS like that.
So I guess. I mean,
They're look, they're superheroes, okay? They can practically BS everything.
well, yeah, but that you need a well-written movie, and you can't exactly
true,
get
yeah.
into it if like these heroes can basically do anything.
That's true. That's true. Never mind. Yeah, it's like going to recess and then like you're all playing pretend or something, and then you go like, "Oh, you're supposed to be dead," and the kid's like, "No, I'm Superman."
Yeah,
I got
But,
another thing about like the Snyder Cut that I gotta say that I definitely liked myself was just the fact that it was rated R. Like people actually dying. That was a nice little touch that definitely made things more like, especially with everything it's like already being as dramatic as it is. It's just a +1 to it. And it's not like to where everything's covered in blood, guts, and everything. It's done just enough where it's like it adds to it, but doesn't like make it like too edgy. And that's
true.
in my opinion, that's what I definitely like about.
Because that is what DC Comics is known for. You know, they're really dark and all that stuff.
yeah, but I'd say that's the one thing that, in terms of movies, DC has over Marvel, is that they give their directors more freedom and more like they let them get away with a lot more stuff.
Oh yeah, true. Because with Marvel, you have to like you have like a standard and expectations. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's supposed to be like this, but make it so. It ends up being like that and more, and they're like, ah, yes, okay, we set the new bar now.
Yeah, that makes me wonder, how is Disney gonna treat Deadpool now that they own him?
I hope they keep him the way he is, but like they just replace like like Stanley cameos with like Deadpool, or like just have Deadpool make a cameo in every
Mhm.
movie because that's how he is. He just
That-
shows up in
That would be epic.
Mhm.
that is epic.
Do we even know what they're gonna do with Deadpool?
I have
'Cause,
no
I haven't
idea.
heard anything about there being a third movie.
Next thing
Yeah,
they
no,
just
it's-
drop him all out of nowhere.
It's been quiet.
Yeah, the last I heard was that he was maybe gonna have a cameo in Spider-Man 3.
They should like
Spider-Man
bring-
and Deadpool does have a history.
They do have they do have a history, and they have like a really cool like bro friendship going on, broship going on, man. It's amazing.
I was never the biggest fan of that. I don't know, I
Wow.
just,
Wait, really?
nah, not really. Just because I don't. It's just they're way different characters. In my opinion.
Well, yeah, but to me, that is what adds the flair. It's just the fact that like, oh, Deadpool is this merc with a mouth, and and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill, and I'm gonna fuck this thing, and you have like Spider-Man, who's like, the little guy.
I thought in the comics they're both very similar in a way because they both crack jokes all the time. They're both like
Oh,
smart
yeah.
Alex.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking more about like their morals and who they are as people. Like they're
That is
way
yeah.
true,
different
yeah, because
than each
yeah,
other.
Deadpool is very like chaotic.
Yeah. Deadpool-
He's basically the Punisher, but he's with a more upbeat personality.
Yeah, the Punisher, but funny.
Now, I don't know if I'm correct on this, but from what I remember, like, from seeing some, like, Deadpool and Spider-Man, like, working together scenes, doesn't, like, Deadpool, like, kind of, like, calm down with the killing as much? with whenever he's like hanging out with Spider-Man, or am I wrong on that?
No, he does.
But my issue is more so that Spider-Man would willingly work with someone like Deadpool, and like kind of
Ah,
develop. That's
That's
my
true.
problem with it.
Because the thing is, like, you're a hero meant to save people, but you're working with someone who kills people and stuff.
Yeah, and it's more like an anti-hero than anything.
Yeah.
now I
Because the
wonder
thing is,
what's the
like,
backstory between those two. Like, when did they first meet up?
well, they're probably gonna meet up in this next Spider-Man movie.
Oh man, that's definitely gonna be a bigger clash because was it instead of like just Spider-Man being like already like a mid-adult or like a young adult, this Spider-Man's like was it still like a teenager or is he
Yeah.
just getting out of teenage mode?
I'm pretty sure he's getting out of teenage mode. Yeah, that is the thing though, because like Spider-Man is supposed to be a young adult, right?
Yeah, in the
Well, at least
MCU.
in the comics.
In the comics, yeah, in the comics.
So yeah, it would be tough to make the Spider-Man Deadpool team up work in the movies.
Yeah. If anything, he's mostly going to be like a cameo or the background character.
That like for me like the three main like potential how they're gonna introduce Deadpool moves are either have him be in a Spider-Man film or have him cameo in another film for like an X-Men or something like that because he's also associated with X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Or just have him be in a mini series of some kind. I don't think I don't think Disney's gonna put him in his own movie just because he's way too edgy for that.
That's true, yeah. Because Disney's all about family friendly, all that good stuff, and then they got Deadpool, and they're like, shit, what do we do now? How do we make this work? How do we keep our movies like still for children, but put Deadpool in there? Because that is the problem. Like, yeah, Deadpool is just he's just rated R in general.
Yeah, wherever he shows up, you immediately put the stamp rated R.
Rated R, yeah. Because I feel like what would be really awesome is like the next Avengers movie. Like at the end, they're all just chilling, and then like Deadpool just shows up. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, I remember making a joke a long time ago about what if Deadpool had been in Endgame, and the joke was that Deadpool was like watching the movie, and so while they're in that final battle against Thanos, Deadpool would just yawn and go like, "Man, this is boring. I'm gonna fast forward to the end," and then the movie just fast forwards.
Yo, that would have been really awesome. Like in a sense, it reminds me of Lion King 1.5, where Timon and Pumbaa, like it starts off with Timon and Pumbaa like pulling up in like the theater or something like that, and then at the end, like all the other Disney characters were like pulling up in the theater, and so they just rewind the movie and watch it again. And I'm like, this is nice. We should have more of this.
I'm thinking back to like Deadpool now. It's like his movies don't really have a timestamp in the MCU universe, does it?
They really don't. I mean, if anything, I guess he's part of the Fox Marvel's universe, because with the cameo of Fox's X-Men and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And also with the fact that the X-Men exist in Deadpool's universe, and
they're just all trying to avoid him, which is I find funny.
That's another thing. Since they acquired the X-Men and all the Fox heroes so late, how exactly are they gonna incorporate them in the MCU?
So there's like a theory going around. I haven't seen the end of WandaVision, but apparently it was supposed to be like Wanda like loses her shit and she makes it to where like she does like a mind snap or something, and then like all the mutants just came to be, because that's like something she's done in the comics apparently, where like she just like snaps
that
like
happens in the comics, but in WandaVision, I'm not sure exactly where it's gonna go.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't watched it yet. I still need to watch it because Winter Soldier and Falcon, I think, came out their first episode or something.
Second episode.
WandaVision is an adaptation of the House of M storyline from the comics, right?
Yes, I believe so.
It would have been smarter if it was a direct adaptation, because I think they could have. That would have been the easiest way to introduce the X-Men into the MCU.
But I think another way they could do it is with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness or something.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, Multiverse of Madness, you could literally just have an X-Men, like, from a different, multiverse. And
exactly.
Then everything
But would they get
clashes.
brought into, like, the main universe in the MCU?
Oh.
Well, I don't know exactly how the rights are going out with, like, the X-Men and all of that, but I'm not sure.
Well, as far as we know, Disney owns them. So
yeah, at this point,
it's just a matter of putting them into the MCU.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, if it has something to do with Marvel, Disney's gonna get them. And then it's like, oh, but Sony has Spider-Man. You don't know about that, man. You don't know what Disney has in plans. I feel like in the next 5 years, freaking Disney's gonna end up owning Sony and like putting out the next place PS6 or something, PS7, the Disney PlayStation, the DS. They're gonna put out the DS.
That's stupid.
I miss the DS. I miss my DSi. At this
Hey,
point,
did you remember when we all talked about how we would make a Nintendo cinematic universe?
oh yes,
How would you start out?
Spaceman, you go. So then we'll set
It's
the bar.
funny, like, as soon as you said that, it's just like, technically, there's already, like, a bunch of movies where we already have, like, the Mario Bros. Movie, then we have, like, so... Oh
No,
my
that's
gosh.
stupid. That doesn't count.
We don't count. Shut up.
Oh god. I would pay so much money just to see Mario Bros. 2.
Bro, imagine the Mario Brothers making a cameo in the Marvel movies.
God, that would be hilarious.
I mean, technically, they already had Pac-Man.
Yeah?
That's true.
But if anything, when it comes to, like, a Nintendo's, like, movie universe kind of thing, I guess either you start with the classics like Mario, and then...
Well, of course, you gotta start out with, like, their...
You gotta
heavy
start off
hitters.
with Mario.
But which
Yeah.
ones do you go with first? Because it's gotta be a shared universe, so you gotta start strong.
Because the thing is, Smash is the equivalent of the Avengers for them, so...
Yeah, but it barely has a story, so...
Now,
It-
I guess
Sorry,
what you can do is Mario, then Donkey Kong, and then Star Fox, and then...
And then Solid Snake, and
Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon. It's always whack to me how Captain Falcon is supposed to be from a racing game.
Yeah, no, it surprises me because like most of his like moves were like barely in the like in his show. It's really all about racing for this belt that can like distort space time, if I remember correctly, or something like that. It basically gives you godly powers.
It's essentially, I believe, it's like the equivalent of the Space Stone.
Yeah, and like the fun fact is like the only time Captain Falcon ever says Falcon Punch is in the last climactic scene where he goes for the big punch against like the bad guy's face, and he's like Falcon Punch. But that's the only time we hear of that, and that's like his most famous move in the game.
That's his most famous move in the game, just Falcon Punch.
Hmm.
Okay. To be honest, I know I'm gonna get shit for this, but I'm gonna make a Meta Knight movie.
Meta Knight,
You can't do that.
I can see that. Like definitely like a Kirby movie and then Mad Knight movie on the side. Like
No, there's a Meta Knight movie all the
just
way.
Mad Knight, no
Just a
Kirby.
Meta Knight.
Man, but yeah, Mad Knight will be actually really interesting because he's older than Kirby, and then two, he already has history with like the Star Allies or something like that.
Oh yeah, he does.
And
Oh
I
yeah,
think-
wait, no, we've been forgetting Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, if you were gonna make an NCU, it would be really hard to incorporate Legend of Zelda.
It would really be difficult because like just like
Not only are there like different versions of Link, but it takes place in a very different world.
And we
does,
know, like,
yeah.
in like, was it Legend of Link? I mean, Zelda is like just multiple timelines.
Legend of Link.
It splits into 3 timelines, which goes back into 1 timeline, which comes from 1 timeline that's split into multiple.
yeah, it's just kind of whack.
That's like where you have to do the multiverse madness kind of thing again. Before
That's
Nintendo.
true, yeah, but then how are we gonna make that work?
Super Smash Bros.
You see, but shut up.
Everything
Shut up.
leads to Super Smash
Everything
Bros.
leads to Super Smash Bros. We get it, but we're just trying to make it work. Wait a minute, isn't what's his face? The kid with the wings.
Icarus?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
Icarus.
could definitely have a movie too.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like I feel like maybe because I guess they could be the ones that like summon everyone in the Nintendo universe, all that stuff. So they could be the equivalent of freaking what's his face, Nick Fury and all that stuff. And yeah.
Who would be the Nick Fury of Nintendo, actually?
That's
Because I would think the Federation from Metroid. Because if I were to start an NCU, I'd start with Metroid and work with all the space characters.
In my opinion,
That's
I wouldn't
true.
even think that there would be necessary for a Nick Fury. If you already have like a main bad guy who's already messing with everyone's universes.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing too. It's like who would be the main back? Would it just be the hands?
Yeah, Master Hand.
Mr. Hands.
But what is Master Hand?
Yeah, what is he? I don't get it.
I don't
I
think it's
feel
ever
like
explained. But
who's
in the
main
game,
bad guy in a Smash Brawl, the subspace emissary guy,
oh,
Talu, I think.
mm,
I think his name is Talu, but he
Yeah,
would make a
Talu.
much better endgame bad guy.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna. Yeah, but what is it, in like the first Smash Bros? It's Master Hand, and in the game, Master Hand was literally the equivalent of the kid playing with the toys. Like that's his hand, and he's like having all these characters become alive in the
But
fighting game.
then that essentially he's God. But
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
wouldn't really work in a story.
And yeah, that definitely would have worked in the movie, but in like the movie, it's like okay, you defeat Master Hand, and then everyone goes back. But then again, there's not really like a big subspace embassy. So either the way everyone meets up is through subspace embassy, where there's a lot more story in there, or you have the original Smash Bros, where it's like a small roster of people, and then it grows bigger and bigger over time.
Well, you gotta go with the phases. Like different.
Yeah.
Yeah, different phases. Yeah, because you can't just go like all in, and be like, oh yeah, so here's Alucard from Castlevania. Here's Cloud from
Sonic.
Final Fantasy. Here's Solid Snake.
But yeah, if anything, the first anime would just be Master Hand, like, oh, the first big bag in quotation. Then Taboo will be the second one. And then you really have the third one, which is the light and darkness things. I forgot their name.
And it would be an interesting thing because like then you have like the villains working together with the heroes, so that could be something that you could play off as well. That adds like a bit of a flair to the movie.
Yeah.
Because like I could just imagine like Mario's like, all right, I will agree to this team only if only if that Bowser over there, points at Bowser, stops stealing my girlfriend. And then Bowser proceeds to shrug.
Man, that's
He's
the thing.
like,
Like,
"Alright."
how would the characters even speak? Because I know some characters don't really actually speak that much. For Kirby,
That's-
that can easily be fixed because every other character has been like known in history to speak. So everyone speaks for Kirby.
Well, that's why you start off with Meta Knight.
Hey!
Yeah, exactly. See, I'm a fucking genius.
Oh my gosh! Just imagine we go with like the Espanol version of Meta Knight from the anime, where it's like, Kirby, we must go and save the King
You
Dedede.
get Antonio Banderas to voice Meta Knight.
Zoro.
I imagine like there's gonna be like a bit where like Kirby's trying to like he's like doing charades. Everyone's looking at like Meta Knight. Meta Knight's like, oh, he needs to go to the restroom. And
He's
Kirby
like,
slaps.
don't look at me. I don't know what he's saying. And they're like, don't you work with him though? And he says, yeah, I work with him. That doesn't mean I know what he's saying.
Boyo, boyo, boyo!
Oh, all you people are stereotyping me.
Oh my god.
Man, we need to do this now. The only problem is, where do we start? I suggest
That's what we've been trying to answer.
we start with a spaceman movie.
Oh no.
Where would it make sense to start? Like, who would be the Iron Man of the
Who would be the Iron
Nintendo
Man?
universe?
Because like I remember seeing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate thing, where like all the heroes were basically getting like the equivalent of like Thanos snapping, but like instead of half, basically all of them but Kirby was like got. So then like,
I guess Kirby. He
I
seems
guess
to be the
Kirby.
best candidate so far.
but I think Samus.
That's what I said. We should start off with that. He's stealing my answer from me.
There's definitely a lot of content when it comes to Samus.
That's when freaking Nintendo rolls up to my door. He goes, "You guys made a very good point. We should start off with Samus." And I'm like, "That's what I said."
Which is funny
They-
enough because in some of the original Kirby games, Samus does do as a cameo. So in the Samus movie, you can literally have her and then just Kirby as a cameo in the background as they meet each other for the first time.
Ooh, and then because Sonic is part of Smash, we can literally have.
Comes on the
Well,
second one,
it's
though.
supposed to be a Nintendo cinematic universe, so
Yeah.
I don't think you could have Sonic in it.
No, but Sonic's part of Smash though.
Yeah, but Smash isn't just Nintendo characters.
So anyway, as I was saying,
And anyway,
with-
Sonic
No,
doesn't come on
no,
the first Smash
no,
Bros. He
no,
comes
no.
out in the second, so he has to wait his turn.
Sonic will be the less successful Sega cinematic universe.
Oh man, yeah,
I'm
Sega
just-
would definitely not
I-
allow that because they're like, hey, no, we have a Sonic movie. Screw you.
I was just trying to make a bit about how like the equivalent of Civil War could be the freaking the Olympics games of Mario and Sonic.
Oh my god.
So the entire movie is just like, I imagine like there's gonna be a point in time where like they're about to do like track and field. and then Sonic just zips by.
You have like what was it, the actor who played Mario in the Mario Bros. Movie running against like the CGI of Sonic
Oh
in the
my
Sonic movie.
That would be amazing if he didn't
Oh
die.
God! Again, I will pay so much money to see that.
See, I am genius. Okay, look, Nintendo. I live in
Dude, we gotta get we gotta get Danny DeVito to play Mario.
I'm the plumber. I go around fixing toilets, going down pipes,
Eating mushrooms.
eating mushrooms. Oh man. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess we would start off with Samus.
Yeah, and then we just work our way up from there.
Yeah. So like, who would be next though? I guess would be Kirby. Would be
Because
next.
who was next in the MCU?
It was
Iron Man, and then Captain America,
Captain America. Yeah, and then Thor.
and then Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
Who else was there? I think that just led into Avengers.
and then led into Avengers. Yeah, because they just included Hawkeye and Black Widow in
yeah, they
their
just threw them
movies.
in there.
They
Just threw him in there.
Shield.
Like I remember watching Thor for the first time, and I was like, "Who's this asshole with a bow and arrow thinking he can go up against Thor? What the fuck?"
Yeah,
Oh,
that reminds me. Have either of y'all ever heard of Batman's contingency plans for how to take down the rest of the Justice League?
yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember-
he has like a section for Green Arrow, and his contingency plan is literally just breaking
His arm. Yeah, no, I remember talking about this with J- and me. We're just like laughing over the fact that like just imagine Batman fighting Green Arrow, and out of nowhere just breaks his arm, and Green Arrow's like, "Dude, what the fuck?" He's like, "You're done." It's like, "No, I can still fight with the other arm." No, you can't. Your shtick is the bow and arrow. You can't do that anymore. You're done. And then we said like how
Oh my gosh,
and we're just imagine, and then we're saying like how like just imagine like the headlines because like Green Arrow would be like so salty, and so like even real life after they're like take off the costumes and all that stuff, like he's still bothering Bruce Wayne, going like fight me and all that stuff. And so on the headlines you just see like millionaire Oliver Queen's going to get is constantly harassing billionaire Bruce Wayne. That is funny though.
That's one
Sorry,
of
go.
like the biggest problems with like a shared universe is that there's always gonna be like people who just are way different in like powers and abilities.
That is true, yeah, because you have like Solid Snake, and then you have Sonic, and then you have Cloud with his big ass sword,
Then you have
And
Kirby
then
who
you have
literally
Mario.
kills gods.
and then you have Mario. You have fat Italian plumber against anime edgelord with sword.
Yeah, like some characters aren't anything more than a gimmick.
To be honest, because like looking at it realistically, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't really have like Mario wouldn't really have any powers. It's just
He's just a plumber.
he just gets high off of mushrooms.
Yeah, his powers would be literally, I eat this flower, I throw fireballs in that for a while until I get hit.
I eat spicy weed. I throw fire. Like it's really funny because like ever since I watched this one animation someone made about the Mario Brothers about like how they're essentially just like drug addicts and all that stuff, I can never look at them the same. Like I just like every time like I see like Mario now, I'm just like you're just trying to get your next fix, aren't you? It would be interesting about like I would definitely like a Mario Kart movie.
No, how will that work though?
Shut up.
Speed Racer
Exactly. Have you not seen the Speed Racer movie? God tier.
or Cars.
Or
The
Cars.
one good thing about Cars are the races.
Are the races, most definitely. Like, man, like I remember watching Cars 3, and then like when
Otherwise
Lightyear,
known as the best Cars movie.
the best Cars movie, because like it got fucking. I was like, whoa! I didn't expect him to go down this route where like he like his tires popped and he crashed. Basically getting the equivalent of like Doc Hudson and going through Doc Hudson's like shtick of like, oh, I crashed, I'm depressed now. And I'm like, damn.
Although I kind of wish that Cars wasn't about anthropomorphic cars but actual racers, because that would have made it a lot more like that would have made Cars 3 a lot more like emotionally impactful. I
True.
think. But yeah, that's just one of the many problems I have with the Cars franchise. We were talking about Nintendo, right?
Yeah, we're
How
talking
did we
about
get
that.
into this?
I have no idea. Oh yeah, wait, Mario Kart.
Oh yeah.
Because I want a Mario Kart movie and then I want a Mario Party movie. Oh man.
I was trying to think of what other Mario spin-offs we could make a movie out of.
Mario Tennis.
Mario Golf.
Mario Golf. What else? Mario Baseball.
Mario Maker.
Mario Maker.
That's
do
just
paper.
like the name of a documentary for Mario.
Or Paper Mario. It's just like the entire movie is just like Mario making origami.
That's funny because like, well, the Paper Mario does have a lot of content that you can use for like a
That is
movie.
true.
I think the Nintendo Cinematic Universe would work better if all the movies were animated.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Has to be
most definitely
animated.
that. Yeah, I like obviously we're not going into this live action.
Yeah.
I can't see it working live action. People would be like, oh, you know, if you try hard,
It'd be a whole
no.
nother Mario Bros. Movie situation.
You mean to tell me we're gonna pull a quote unquote live action like Detective Pikachu with Detective Pikachu and Kirby?
Oh,
Just make him CGI,
no.
call him live action.
A real life version of Kirby? Oh no.
Oh my god, I
that.
cannot. I
No.
cannot. I can't. I just that looks fucking weird in my head.
Hey, imagine him like engulfing like an enemy just to get their power.
Oh right, yeah. Wait, how are we gonna incorporate Pokemon into the Nintendo?
Oh yeah, that's
Because like
true. 'cause-
Pokemon are a thing.
Yeah, and the Pokemon world is also really different from a lot of other Nintendo worlds.
It really it's its own separate universe because you know I mean like from the looks of it, no other animal exists except the Pokemon, which always blows my mind every time I see them eat because I'm like, you're eating Pokemon. You're eating my Pikachu.
Well, that's
Welcome to
technically
the
they would
Pokefarm.
have to eat other Pokemon.
Yeah, I know
You
they
don't have
would.
animals, it's just Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just Pokemon. I know. It's just you grow up with Pikachu and then you're like, wait, if there's no other animals, how do they eat?
Well, then again, you got. I don't know how like the Pokemon eating world is, but they mostly have certain Pokemon just for mostly eating, like cows
That's
for
sad.
burgers, chickens
Yeah, like
for.
the Slowpokes.
like the
Yeah.
or the Wobbuffets.
Right? Like I remember in Pokemon Red and Blue, they reference certain restaurants serving fried Pidgey. So there's definitely like they do eat Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just assume it works like it does here in the real world.
I know.
Animals be animals.
Animals are animals. And the thing is, like, that would be interesting, though. A Pokemon movie that's, like, associated with the NCU.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, if you're gonna put Pokemon in it, you're gonna have to, like, introduce the legendaries as well. In my opinion, you should, like, Arceus, because he's basically the god of Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon has like a whole entire deep lore on their own side, so you can easily have a lot of content just to. They already have movies too. So
They do have movies,
You replicate
yeah.
the movies, or you
That
do
would be
something
really
new with
tough
it.
to fit into like the NCU though.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
would be, yeah. It's like, how are we gonna make it to where Ash shows up in Smash?
You know, technically he doesn't even really show up in Smash.
He doesn't show up.
Like
It's
a
just
generic Pokemon.
It's just a generic. I know, but it's just shush. We're gonna work with what we got.
Would
like
Mewtwo work as a
Like
great
Mewtwo.
like phase villain?
Actually, yeah, I would say
Yeah,
so. He is a big
because-
threat on his own self.
Yeah, I imagine he'd be like the equivalent of Loki,
Definitely.
where like he bad guy, but then he become good guy.
Or Winter Soldier?
Or Winter Soldier. There you go. Or Winter Soldier. Because like now I'm actually really invested in this now. So I looked up Smash Bros characters, and oh boy, there's a lot. Okay, wait. We
Yeah.
definitely
Oh my God.
we definitely need a Yoshi movie. Like remember Yoshi's Island?
Yoshi's Island. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, we need to do justice and make a Waluigi movie. No. We should make Waluigi the Stan Lee and just put him
He's just in every movie.
It's just in every movie. I imagine like the Smash Bros movie, like everyone like they all win, and then like Waluigi shows up, he's like, "Hey, what happened?"
We could make the Star Fox characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
That
Like
would
you
be a
have
really fun
Samus,
movie.
you have Fox, what are the Kirby's also a space character as well, huh? But I don't.
We gotta start off with the space character because
Yeah, we gotta start off with
that's
space.
the easiest way to like connect all of the different parts of the Nintendo universe.
Yeah.
Man, how are we gonna fit Minecraft into it?
Well, Minecraft isn't Nintendo, is it?
No, shh. It's part of the roster.
And again, you have to wait until the third movie. You can't.
Until
There's a lot of
until-
content you got between all
until
those.
phase 3. We gotta wait until phase 3. We're still in phase 1. Actually, begs to question, like, what were the first match? Because like I'm so used to like just seeing the Smash Ultimate and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely what you have to
Smash.
search at first, which is like a small roster.
Yeah, it was very small because obviously they just didn't have that much. Why am I getting Inuyasha? What was he part of?
I don't think so because
No.
they don't
Yeah, I don't-
add
I
TV
have it here.
characters.
You have
Wait a minute.
You have
It
Luigi,
says here.
Mario, DK, Link.
It says here unlockable characters Inuyasha. How to unlock complete classic mode as Link. What? Sailor Moon?
I think you're looking at the wrong one.
I
You
think
are
I
definitely
am, but
looking at the wrong
wait,
one.
oh wait, this is called Super Smash Scratch. Never mind.
Yeah,
Oh,
Silly
okay.
Willy. There you go. I
Shut
pressed
up.
it- I
Leave me
pressed
alone.
on the close the tab. So that's the
There we go.
original roster. We have Luigi, Mario.
Okay, so we have to
DK,
start off with
Link,
that.
Samus, Captain Falcon, Ness, Yoshi, Kirby, Fox, Pikachu, and Jigglypuff.
Okay, the fucking Jigglypuff. God damn it.
So we gotta find a way to work Pokemon in there.
Pokemon already
Yeah, we
has
have
two
to find a way.
movies. Like, I mean, you already have two characters in
Wait,
the
and
category of Pokemon.
what's-
You have three.
you have 4 from Mario.
Yeah.
You have Kirby, Link, Samus, and Captain Falcon.
Well, then again,
And so
DK himself can have like his own movie. He has like a lot.
that's
The one that
He has
Mario
Donkey
meets
Kong.
a lot isn't actually DK himself, but is his father, which is interesting. Anyways,
my own shtick is I've always wondered who's Ness.
he's from Mother
From
series.
Earthbound.
I
I'm
love how
sorry.
you both said
Called-
separate things.
Actually,
It's
it's the same
called
thing.
Earthbound Spaceman.
No, it's called Mario Bros. Well, then we'll have to make a movie. We're gonna pull a
No, dude.
Marvel
Earthbound
and
would be
just-
such an impossible series to make a movie out of.
yeah. We're just
That's a
gonna
whole
pull
other can of worms.
we're gonna pull an Earthbound
Yeah.
and just make Ness like the equivalent of Hawkeye or Black Widow or something. Just put him there.
He
Just
just
put him
shows
there.
up. Yeah, Fox and
Oh.
Samus and Captain Falcon. They shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's when you get into the really lore heavy games that it gets
Like-
a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
Like Link and Pokemon.
Yeah,
Like I kind of have an idea of how we can just work Ness in Pokemon because he looks like a kid, like a trainer, like a Pokemon trainer. So you just have him
Yeah,
there.
but the Mother universe has nothing in common with the Pokemon
Yeah.
universe.
No. Don't worry about it, Warren. Don't worry about it. 'Cause-
That's the one thing we should work.
no.
You just see
It's
Ness
kind of
come up with a
important,
Pikachu
Travis.
and Jigglypuff. It's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Shush, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I have an idea.
You know, at some point, like in the Mother universe, the world gets destroyed, right?
And there's
Don't worry
aliens, and
Don't
then like
worry about-
magic, like with PK Fire, PK Shield, and all that.
Quickly, someone pull up the Avengers trailer. There was an idea.
But yeah, our head people can definitely be. It's definitely like Mario, Fox, Samus, maybe even Kirby, and then Captain Falcon. Then there's a Pokemon. Ness is definitely the one person in this whole list. And maybe Link as well. That may be
No,
really difficult to
well,
have a movie about.
We'll just make Ness the equivalent of Doctor Strange.
Actually, that's funny
No.
enough. That's very similar, but still, yeah.
I feel like there are other magical Nintendo characters, right? It's not just Ness.
It's not just Ness.
Yeah, no,
it's
there's definitely other.
So I don't
Ga-
think he would make a good Doctor Strange. Like,
fine. We'll make it Kirby.
We'll make him Meta Knight.
We'll make it Meta Knight.
Actually, yeah, huh.
I think we'd have to make a Meta Knight movie first if we were.
Yes. See, I was already like 5 steps ahead of you. You see, you thought, man, you were mocking me when I said Meta Knight. But look at us now. We're already like, we have to make a Meta Knight movie because we have to.
Where did Kirby lead you? Back
Yeah.
to me.
And where does it lead you? Back to Meta Knight. I just love playing as Meta Knight because it's just so funny when people get pissed off by.
I just like Man Knight. He's just a really cool character, and I like him.
He is ball edgelord with sword. We like those. So wait, okay. So looking at this, who are we starting off with? Like, who's like the first movie that we would do the NCU with? Samus, right?
Yeah, Metroid.
Metroid, and then next would be, I guess, either Captain Falcon.
I say we start off
Or
with
Kirby.
Samus. I say we start off with Samus. Then we do Mario, which is a classic. So we go from like
Yeah, I'm kind of split on whether to do Mario or Star Fox next.
I
Samus-
feel like
I think we should do like a back and forward thing. So we go from Samus to Mario, then to Fox, and then to either like Kirby's side or Captain Falcon's side.
Yes. Because like people be wondering like how like we do Samus, people are like, ooh, it's nice. And we do Mario, people are like, what the fuck? And then we do that. We do Fox. Yeah, see, boys, we're doing. I'm writing this down. I'm writing this down.
I just have the picture in my head of like the pep talk scene in Guardians of the Galaxy, but all of the characters are Star Fox.
I put MCU out of habit. NCU. Yes. Phase 1.
I gotta put this in the group chat. See what everyone thinks.
Phase 1. Samus. I'm gonna write a fan fiction about this. I'm joking.
Well, someone already did this, so.
Oh, I bet
Yeah,
just
someone probably
fanfiction
has.
with everyone.
Pretty sure, but can they say they successfully got away with doing it? Yes. Brain all worky good at night.
Even though you just woke up from a nap.
Yeah, no, I was really exhausted, and then I woke up. Actually, no, I had an alarm wake me up because I knew I wasn't gonna make it if I
Funny
didn't have an
enough,
alarm.
same thing happened with me. I was just like out for half the day, and then I was like, oh, okay, back to being awake.
Yeah,
I
the
guess
reason
I was the only one who had a normal sleeping schedule today.
yeah, because the reason why I was like exhausted is because like I stayed up until 4, working on my D&D, and then I woke up and then I did the workout,
Nice.
and then I tried not to like sleep at all until it came to like 7, and I was like, yeah, I can't want to do the podcast all tired and everything. Like I'm tired, but like exhausted, tired. You know?
Yeah, for me, it's just I've been like staying up like almost like every day, just due to the fact of gotta keep up with school. Oh boy, but
It's
yeah.
a hard knock life. For
Or us. Yeah, no, can we also talk about how like we have to pay for an education that we need to get better job to give us more money?
Yeah, the whole thing is
Pretty
ironic.
whack.
Which, funny enough, leads us back to universal income.
It's all come full circle.
Oh
And
my
where did
gosh.
lead? And where did it lead you? Back to Bitcoin. Man, it's kind of sad because like Bitcoin really tried to be the universal income, but it just didn't work.
It's still pushing.
Yeah.
Well, it's alternative income, which I think
Yeah.
that's all it was ever gonna be.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But yeah, so far we are now at 2 hours and 22 minutes.
We pushed for 3. I'm joking, no.
I think we should call it an episode, guys.
Yeah,
This
I
is
think
Probably.
we went well
Because-
with like this podcast.
Because it's
considering
funny.
how bored all of us were.
Because like funny enough, yeah, we started off like recap, then like DC, but then like we just kept venturing off until we ended up here in the NCU.
Yeah, to be honest, I think like when it comes to like what'd you guys do? We really just like, oh yeah, we're still alive. And then like afterwards when we actually get to like, oh yeah, what about the DC? We just spread like a web just everywhere. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we all like. I'm pretty sure you can tell we all just wanted to avoid the live action DC.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. We kept looking for any excuse to stop talking about it.
To be
That's
honest,
hilarious.
what's funny is I forgot who even like suggested we talk about it or something.
Oh, I did, because I brought up mentioning.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah, about
Because
the
we
Zack
both-
Snyder cut.
yeah, Alex the critic also and me saw it except you.
Man, it's so funny, Spaceman, because you almost said his actual name. I know he doesn't mind it, but that's funny because like we've been doing so well with not saying your guys' actual names.
Then right after he says that, I'm just like, so what's
That reminds me of that one joke. It's like the pig from Looney Tunes, like, oh, you thought I was gonna say son of a biscuit, son of a bitch.
That remind like I would like okay, look, you have no idea how tempted I was to just say because you're a dirty communist.
I just imagine this whole area right now of the recording just blipped out. It's just like a beep, 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 beep.
yeah, or I just leave it in by accident.
Or just leave it in by accident.
Oh gosh.
I don't know. It's up to you, editor. You can either
Yeah.
bleep it, or here you can use this to replace it. Spaceman.
I'll just we'll replace it with communist.
Communist.
Oh
You're a
my
dirty
gosh.
communist.
I just imagine keeps going back and forth. It's like whenever I say something, it just goes to like Alex saying just communist. They were
But
episodes
every
talking
time it cuts to like you talking, like I just put a picture of the Soviet Russia flag in the background.
And every time he's talking, you play the Soviet anthem in the background.
Oh my god!
Bro, that would
Oh,
be
man.
god tier. I know it's a lot of work, but that would be
That would be
god
hilarious.
tier.
Just like every
That-
time my character like speaks, just in the background, it just turns
Just
to the Soviet anthem. Just a flag hovering over Spaceman whenever he talks. As soon as like someone else talks, just disappears like it was never there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'll just cut out the whole universal basic income part of the podcast and just play the Soviet theme throughout the whole thing.
It just has Joseph Stalin in the background, all happy, like with a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of old timey footage of Soviet Russia.
Fidel Castro. Oh my god.
Alright, well I think
So,
this is a
moral of
good-
the story: Spaceman is a communist.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that.
Oh,
Yeah,
what a
this is
way
now
to end
canon
the
to our
podcast.
story.
What a way to end the podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, well, this is
This
the
has
part where
been
we start goodbyes.
Yeah, this has been Close the Tab. I'm not sure if we're still recording. Are we still recording? Because
we're finishing up now.
Okay, okay.
this has been Close the Tab. Thanks for watching. I've been your host, Alex the Critic, and I've been joined here today by Spaceman and Travis. So
Yo.
we'll see you next week, hopefully, or next 2 weeks.
Whatever we
If you're,
can.
if you
Whenever-
like space,
whenever
you're a
we
dirty
can do this
communist.
again.
Hey, whatever this episode uploads.
Yeah, whenever it uploads and whenever we decide to come back together again.
Till then, we'll see you in the next podcast. Bye.
Okay, you're
Not
definitely
even
gonna
the
get sued
next
for that.
episode of Close the
I
Tab.
know, yeah.
The next podcast.
The next podcast.
Podcast.